seconds as this game, set, match, the shot, the denial, it goes all the way in overtime.
Yeah, you played Baltimore, so Hunter went out.
Oh, well, yeah, I had to.
Look at Socket, laying in the middle,
Socket?
laying in the damage, going in revenge for their honey.
No way!
They call him Socket Wappy!
We do love all the players, even the ones we shit talk. We love you all. We love you all.
Inside the fight, right in there, in deep. Ray Boss has arrived. They're taking up all the damage. You can flew your.
We're winning the whole thing this year. Mark my words. EVU, Ohio, Purdue Northwest, hey, every single one of you, get ready. Be locked in.
Why? Those don't go in.
It goes off the sidebar.
So tiring and stressful. But no, I had so much fun. We met a lot of really great teams.
Yeah.
And then bond as a team together.
Unified welcomes you to the following presentation of the Midwest Esports Conference. Here at the MEC, we partner with schools all over the Midwest to create premier gaming experiences. Welcome to the MEC. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to the MEC. We've got some Wednesday night CLOL action with Mac and Mech as we continue our coverage of the spring 2025 season. We're making our way through the second round robin of the regular season, teams getting the chance to face off once again. Maybe some teams looking for revenge, a lot of squads still looking to kind of iron out the strategy, get geared up and ready to go for playoffs. And tonight's matchup, Kansas University versus Ottawa University, one I am super excited to get into.
I'm really excited because I have yet to see Kansas University on broadcast this season. And they're a new team to the MEC.
Woo! Huge.
Big new team to the MEC. I will say their first round robin did not go particularly well. We now have stats for the first round robin. It was they were 1-6. It was not particularly well. I believe their only win was against Drury.
And that may have been an NFF, but room for improvement.
Well, there was a win against. Yeah, it may have been an FF. In fact, it was.
Opportunity for growth.
Yeah, we're here for
spring is the time for growth.
Growth mindset, everyone. Okay, that's what we're here for. We're looking for Kansas to get their first in-game win tonight. It's gonna be tough. They got to play against Ottawa, who consequently have wins. They're like right now in round robin 2, they're third place. They're 2-1. Round robin 1, they were fourth place. They were 4-3. They're a solid like middle team right now, which in MEC is very impressive because the MEC is 8 teams, and of those 8 teams, there's like 5 that are really, really good. And then the 6th, like if let for just 1 second, humor me, please.
Okay.
I want to talk about the ranking list. So, okay, let's back up for a moment.
Standings, overarching
Prior to
MEC standings.
Overarching MEC standings, but
Okay,
prior to that,
gotcha.
we're gonna note that there's a player who is late. So, we've been given an ungodly amount of time to fill. So we get to talk about the standings.
Welcome to the show.
MEC pod back for 1 episode, only 15 minutes or so. So in the first round robin, I'm actually hold please. I'm sending a link to our producer so he can put the ranking up. All right, excellent. So Purdue Northwest ended in first place in the first round robin. They were 7-0. We harped on it a bunch as we went through. Purdue Northwest, I think, for generalization, is the best team in the league.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Not too shabby.
They're not too
of the season.
Understatement of the season. Second place is the Grandview Vikings. They are 5-1. They have no longer playing matches in League of Legends that will be an FF for Grandview. So Grandview, by the end of when all the round robin matches are caught up together, will be 6-1. They'll be the second place team in the MEC. Ohio State
loss to PNW.
Yeah, that's their only loss.
The series was 2-1.
Correct.
So really close battle. That's a matchup that gets me excited for playoffs. And like
I
a
agree.
potential best of 5. Woo!
So in third place is Ohio State University. They're 5-2. Could you guess who they lost to?
Checks numbers. Wait a minute. I think I might know.
They
I
lost.
have an idea.
They lost to Grandview and Purdue Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we go to Ottawa Braves. Who do you think they lost to? They're 4-3 for the first split, and they lost to the 3 teams above them. So the hierarchy is very set. At least that's what it feels like, right?
Yeah,
it feels like
for sure.
you beat the teams at the end of this first round robin, right? If you beat a team, they're below you on the ranking. If you didn't beat a team, they're above you on the ranking. And that's kind of where we sit right now, right? Columbia College, it's the same kind of gist here. They lost to just a couple people, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Just,
So-
you know, the 4 people above them. And
Yeah,
then...
exactly. Now you're getting it. Now we're getting it. Right. They lost to Ohio State, lost to Purdue Northwest, lost to Grandview, lost to Ottawa. That's their 4 losses. You keep going. We could keep going down the list for 20 minutes, right? But the MEC is very set order. Is that if you, whatever place you're in, you've won against teams below you, you've lost against the teams that are above you. We keep saying, and the reason I wanted to bring this up is because we're talking about University of Kansas, who are right now at the bottom of the mix. They have not won against any of the teams above them, including Briarcliff, Columbia, Ottawa, Ohio State, Grandview, Purdue Northwest. The thing is while that sounds really bad, and I'll be the first person to say that sounds really bad, the teams above them are Purdue Northwest, who's ranked, last time I checked, like 15 in the nation or something like that, right? Ballparking.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Grandview, who's ranked not far behind. They're ranked 17th in the nation. Purdue Northwest is 12th. Sorry. You've got Ohio State, who, while is no longer ranked as of this week, they are the 26th team. They're the first man out.
Okay.
You've got
Still
Ottawa.
Top 32 though. Still top
Yep.
32.
You've got Ottawa, who's ranked 24th in the country. And you've got Columbia, who have shown that they can push teams further and further in the game. Right, we saw them take a game off Purdue Northwest, and we've seen them be a little frisky against some of these other teams, I think we'll put it.
Yeah.
And then Briarcliff, who you and I have seen on stream a million times this season already, who we've said every single time they're on stream, well, they could win tonight if Mike and Cameron are absolutely godlike. So if you've lost to the teams above you that feel very powerful,
Yeah.
does it feel that bad?
Yeah. 100%. One of the things for me that I'm kind of keeping my eye on with Briarcliff is I feel like in their matches against a lot of the top teams that we've saw, they haven't had quite the full roster put together for those matchups. We've seen Mike have to sub into ADC. Raymond has 18 credit hours and I'm imagine is just a tad bit busy with school. So I am curious to see how Briarcliff does in playoffs. I think they could potentially sneak up 1 to 2 spots, but it's honestly weird to me looking at this graphic and seeing Ottawa at 4-3 and as
Right?
you mentioned before, like in the middle of the MEC, because that doesn't feel right to say for Ottawa, but that's
The MEC, with only having 8 teams, is incredibly top heavy this season.
Yeah.
And I'd like to note that this also had what I would politely call a collapse of Drury, in which they are no longer playing MEC matches for League of Legends, who could have also been in the mix here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, wishing everyone at Drew the absolute best.
Mhm.
Shout out Fat Cat. I know this is his senior year, last season playing, so
This is where we all salute at him, right?
yeah,
Like this is
we're pretty sad to be missing Drury for the rest of the season, but overall just hoping to send good vibes to the school and players, as you know, they are still, as you mentioned before, competing in Valorant, so they'll still be around, but League of Legends going to be going on a brief hiatus, hopeful to see them return next season. So that does leave us with 7 teams here in the MEC. And for me, looking at these standings, you know, even though, as you mentioned, we do have a little bit of a top heavy partner conference, but with how these teams have been looking, I think they've been playing really clean League of Legends. There's a lot to look forward to, considering how these teams might compete in the top 32 of the nation. You know, we've kind of heard from a few of the squads that that's kind of the real CLOL for them. That's what they're looking forward to. It's what they kind of have marked on their calendars. So for me, I really think these matches, when it gets down to it, how are they going to be getting that quality practice against you know, the top teams playing each other? How are they going to be making sure that they're ready to go? Because it's a tight race. Once you get up to the top 32, it's super fun to watch, but the teams are all so good. So for me, I'm looking at like Aljun and Alchemist joining Purdue Northwest being super exciting. Ariana for GVU in the top lane, I'm really excited about. OSU, seeing how they do in extended series against these teams, right? Like in a best of 5, how might OSU play? All just a bunch of hype for me when it comes to thinking about how the MEC looks at the top of the standings.
There's just an incredibly good amount of teams in the MEC right now. It feels like the year. I know we've said this every year that the MEC has gone to CLOL, but it feels like the year we could get past the round of 16.
Maybe. I don't want to jinx it, but
I feel like we have to say that every year. I'd like to say we are not we're not contractually obligated to say that, but I will say it anyway.
We can hope. We're here to be the MEC's biggest fans on the Rift, on and off the Rift, I would say. So we'll be here all the live long day, hyping up the MEC and their teams, these squads, these players working towards a really big goal. You know, they want to dance in the May Madness of the CLOL tournament. So we'll be really looking forward to see how the teams grow for the rest of the season. I think Ottawa at the moment is my team to watch. Last year they went crazy in playoffs, so I'm curious to see how they do this time around as well.
I'm curious to see playoffs as we get towards like best. I think it's playoffs is all best of 3s. Or are we best of 5s when we hit playoffs?
I'm
asking all the hard questions.
I don't think the whole bracket is best of 5.
I think there's a little both. Oh no. Okay, I've got it here. According to the CLOL page, conference playoffs is a best of 5 with a double elim round of 8, a winner round 1 and loser round 1, a loser round 2, a winner round 2, loser 3, and a loser round 4 and grand final. That's what it says on the thing.
So all best of 5?
It seems to say all best of 5s.
Okay, fingers crossed. That would be super exciting overall. It's something I would really like to see.
That is what is claimed currently. I am looking right now. Oh, I don't know. Never mind. I may be. Oh no, all match. Okay, so on one side it says best of fives. On the other place it says it says best of threes up until grand finals, which is best of fives. I'm gonna trust the latter bit because the latter bit, I see. I have my sources here. Okay, I'm trusting the second source. All matches will be best of three until grand finals. So yes.
As we approach, we still got a few weeks left in the regular season.
Correct.
I'm sure. As we approach the playoffs, we'll hopefully have some graphics and everything put together. So the playoff outlook won't be crystal clear for everyone, but we're still a little ways away. So we've got some time just to ponder and think about just how fun it's all going to be. So I'm super excited. But yeah, this is kind of our breakdown of the standings. Thinking about the match a little bit, I know I talked a little bit earlier about Ottawa. I think we've only seen them once or twice. June is the new ADC filling the shoes of Levi. Riversided has headed up top. And so I'm really excited to see these guys back in action. Riversided hopefully getting some more experience up top will be really helpful over time. Because overall, I feel like it's always tough. The first season doing a lane swap can be kind of tricky to acclimate.
Alrighty. Still waiting on a couple of folks here to finish this out to get into the game. We haven't yet to talk about Kansas at all. Is there a thing we'd like to talk about tonight?
That I think is a good direction to head into.
I feel like this may be a good direction to talk about. Here's problem number one when talking about Kansas. We don't have a huge amount of knowledge. And everyone in chat currently, we are aware it is the University of Kansas. Well, let me rephrase that. Some of us are aware it is University of Kansas.
Working on updating that.
Yeah, we're working on updating it. I am as I have someone who's a friend who went to Kansas State. I'm aware of the animosity between Kansas and Kansas State, and we've made a terrible mistake here. I just like to note that, okay? We have made a terrible mistake. We apologize for these things. I think.
Yes.
We'll go with I think.
Well, Mech, so as we were kind of talking about with looking at the Kansas roster, it's going to be about that time to try and turn things around, though. They do, all the teams are going to be headed into playoffs, so there's no like desperate need. There's not like, oh, we're going to miss out on some of the competition, but these are going to be good practice reps to get into. As kind of the team, I think, still kind of looks for its identity on the Rift and looks to kind of smooth over the gameplay. We'll see. Ottawa's got hands for sure. I feel like when I asked Plux about June joining the team, he was like, "Man's got hands." Like he's the
I think that was
the charts.
I do believe that was the exact quote. So I've started to dive a little bit deeper into some of these games, and I'm interested. Okay, the University of Kansas has piqued my interest here because I'm looking at some of these comps. Okay, so the comp for this game is Garen, Wukong, Corki, Hui, Seraphine. I think that's the first AP bot lane I've seen so far in the MEC this season.
That's spicy.
I'm here for that. Let's get more of that, please.
Mixing it up.
Please give me more of that. All right, we have some other statistics at the same time. We're going to go to them in a minute. We're going to go to the other stats in a minute. We still have some time. I want to talk about these drafts because these drafts are wild. I love them. There's another draft here that's got a Twitch Lulu bot lane.
Classic.
There's just a ton of drafts here that I absolutely love and are wild. Okay? I'm trying to find more of them because I'm so interested in these drafts now. There's so little the problem is hey, team members, I know you're all here. Upload your screenshots to the CLOL page so we can look at your drafts. Thank you. There's a Mordekaiser top lane.
Badass.
Like this is great. I'm so here for this. It's like self-imposed fearless and like in the best way possible. There's Twitch Milio. Oh, I'm loving this, man. This is making me more and more excited for this match because I would love to see wacky drafts come out tonight. Wacky is the wrong word. These drafts all make sense in their literally in their own ecosystem. But they're super not meta. They're not things that I would go and expect other teams to pick. I think that's really exciting to see because we don't see a lot of that. We see like the closest we get to like pocket pick kind of stuff like that is with Mike and Camer on Briarcliff, where we see like the Olaf and the Gwen Jungle and the Brand Minute stuff.
Oh, they're just running the craziest stuff.
So
I feel like
I'm here for this.
The Zerath. Oh,
Give me more of that. Give me more of that. All right.
I don't want
You got any other bits?
any.
No,
I'm full of bits.
You're full of bits.
Although I'm not a computer.
That was a good joke.
Thank you.
I'll take
I
this.
tried my best. We'll save that one for later. Overall, yeah, I'm super excited to see the matchup. Mordekaiser top is great. I wonder if we'll see Riversided.
Garen top
a
is
little off guard because those are the. I feel like when I think of Mordekaiser and Garen, I'm thinking of the top laners who have just like 1,000 hours in just top lane and like may take Ignite Ghost or something and just kind of try to win the solo lane and spiral an advantage out of that, which can always be fun to watch.
It's Adam Champion Pool. It's like I know he doesn't play Mordekaiser, but it feels like the Garen screams that kind of idea to me. I love it. I love it so much. Please give me more interesting drafts. I think for the moment we're gonna jump to a quick break while we're waiting on everyone to get into lobby, and we're gonna be back with draft once it starts.
Hello and welcome back to the MEC as we're continuing on our coverage of the CLOL 2025 season. We're getting geared up and ready to go for our streamed matchup of the night here as Kansas looks to take on Ottawa. Mac, we finally got draft coming up soon for game number 1 of our best of 3. We were looking at some of the funky drafts that Kansas has pulled out in just the past few matches. So should be, I think, one of the more interesting drafts that we've had on the stream.
I agree. I'm very excited. I know we've seen it a couple times because we've watched Ottawa a couple times. Excited to watch Riverside in top lane again. I know that he's been the new move to top lane for this split for the Ottawa side. Was sharing that mid lane spot with Blonde before, and it's now just a Blonde thing, and Riverside's up in the top lane. I think Riverside's played like pretty well this split so far in top lane. I don't think he's been. I don't think he's been the best top laner in the league, but I don't think for any shot he's been anywhere close to the worst. I think his Gragas is really, really good, and I kind of was expecting to see it get banned here over maybe a Darius, but hey, Ivern first pick over for Ottawa.
I just think back to the one castle game we saw on Ivern in the absolute destruction it had on the Rift. Was just really fun to watch and should be really interesting in the hands of Prod, who is right up there with some of the best junglers in the league. And really, I think giving him a champion like this will make Ottawa a pretty dangerous team in this match. Sejuani going to be going ahead and locked in for what might be the jungle pick, I'm assuming, but it wouldn't be the first time Sejuani went top in CLOL if it happened to work out that way.
I'm looking at this now. I don't think it's going to be a top Sejuani, right? We went over this before. Top laner likes to play Garen, likes to play Mordekaiser. Seems to be a bit more carry juggernaut kind of, and Sejuani does not fit that profile for me. This Nico pick's interesting because generally when you play Nico, you're right now at least you're playing her in support with Callista. That's kind of the known pairing right now.
Okay.
And so interesting to pick the Nico before the Callista because there are multiple Callista pairings. Nico pairings a little less frequent. You can still do a couple others. It could still be Nico mid too, and just a really big blind pick.
Ottawa, meanwhile, trying to figure out potentially their bot lane, or they could just be baiting us, but it is going to be the Leona Jinx locked in for June in Plux. Leona, something I'm really excited to see Plux on. He's been in amazing support at roaming around the map. Whether it was going to be Leona or Nautilus, I think those two champs give him a lot of early game playmaking potential. So that should be really exciting to see. Varus, something safe that can go into the Jinx, is going to be locked in for Kansas as we head into the second phase of bans. Riverside, one of his comfort champs, is going to be taken off of the board. Something that he was back in the day able to play in mid, something super safe for top. He's going to be challenged here a little bit in game number 1 to see, what else does he have in his champion pool that he's going to be able to bring out.
So with this Yone hover, it seems like Ottawa believes that this is going to be a Nico support, which I think at this point is kind of safe. I think Nico support's probably the way to go. Jace is the other thing we've seen Riverside play a lot of this season. Jason top playing with that grasp. Garen, this would be the pick. I think this is kind of expected. If you're scouting Kansas ahead, you kind of expect this Garen to come through. So now the question is, on 5, are you picking mid or are you picking support? Ottawa right here still have a mid and a top laner, both solo lanes to pick. I don't know what Riverside it goes here. There's actually a lot of top bans, and it looks like it could be the Cho'Gath, which... So there's
That's
some
amazing.
weird Cho'Gath bit. We'll come back to Cho'Gath in a minute. There's some weird Cho'Gath stuff going around right now.
That is wild to see, Megan. For this last pick, it should be Blonde's mid lane pick. Not a whole lot of mages banned so far. And
Ooh.
in fact, Blonde might be turning up the heat in mid lane and picking something super aggressive. Here comes the Tristana roaring in, and that should be able. We're thinking Nico support. Red 5 is going to tell us a lot here about the Kansas composition.
Yeah, I think this will tell us a lot. The Tristana pick, I think, tells us a lot too, that this is going to be a little bit of a weirdly built Cho'Gath. There's been some stuff going around. Casio mid? Okay, I'm here for this. I said I wanted non-meta drafts, and I got a non-meta draft. I'm here for it. So going back to this Cho'Gath, there's a build that's currently going around that is Hail of Blades Cho'Gath with Shirelia's Rush into standard Cho'Gath items. Because you become naturally tanky enough from your ultimate, you just treat yourself like a poke champion to start. And then once you have done all that successfully with Hail of Blades and you get Hail of Blades procs, then you build really tanky and you have Shirelia's to move really, really fast. So because Ivern doesn't do much damage, and because Leona doesn't do much damage, I kind of feel like you have to build AP Cho'Gath here. Or at least Shirelia's Cho'Gath here.
There's a lot of late game damage potential for Kansas, right? If we're thinking about it, you've got the Cass scaling. Varus maybe comes through with an on-hit build that can be really threatening later on. I know maybe into the Jinx you think early game, right?
I feel like you have to go on hit. I feel like you have to go on hit if you ever want to kill this Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
I don't think Casio is killing the Cho'Gath. Casio is like really good long sustained damage, but I think that the rest of this team will kill you before you are able to get that long sustained damage out. I don't think Garen can kill this Cho'Gath later. Nico and Seju obviously are not killing this Cho'Gath. I think it's up to Varus to kill the Cho'Gath, and I think you have to go on hit to do that. I don't think lethality will actually benefit you.
Yeah.
It could early game.
If the game, thinking about game trends a little bit, Ottawa, I expect is going to come out swinging. Tristana mid, Plux roaming around on the Leona, Prod likely being quite aggressive in the jungle early, especially against a Sejuani where he doesn't have to worry too much. They're going to be taking the game and throwing it in Kansas's face. That's kind of how I see how the early game goes. Before we start thinking about, how are the team fights going to be playing out? Can Kansas withstand the early game? That's kind of my question.
I think the front line for Kansas actually, looking at this comp a little bit more, right? It's solo-ish front line for Ottawa. You can count Leona as a front liner. That would bring you up to 2. And Iron has so many shields. I think this Cho'Gath is kind of unkillable. But I think for Kansas, they actually have a lot of good lockdown here between Miasma from Casio, between the ultimate from Varus, between all of Nico's kit, between most of Sejuani's kit. Right, the only person you don't really have hard CC on here is Garen, who has a lot of softer CC in terms of the slow, the suppress. There's a lot of good bits here from Kansas that I could see with dealing with the Cho'Gath. They just need to survive the initial assault of a double AD carry, literally in one case jumping on them.
And then, what if Ottawa can... I think they're going to be playing around Grubs. They're going to be playing around the early Tristana. They're going to be trying to get plates, build up an early lead. And so I think it will be interesting to see if Kansas is able to play around that. They do have a lot of pick potential. Sejal, as you were talking about, a lot of solid lockdown, right? When they hit level 6, whoever gets hit by the ultimate first, There's
Is dead.
Lockdown plus Demacia Justice will be swiftly delivered to the target of their choosing. But like
they
you're
just
kind of
have-
thinking with the front line, right? Like, is that going to be enough to take down a Cho'Gath later on? Maybe not.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If you play this correctly, there's so much layered, like, hard CC against Cho'Gath. There's actually a lot of AoE CC here, right? Just between Nico E, Nico Ultimate, between Sejuani's whole shtick, between Varus's ult, and the fact that it'll spread the chains of corruption. Miasma is really good about this. Right, yeah, like, there's so much good AoE hard CC here that if you can stop Cho'Gath and one of the carries, I feel like you can deal with them in bits and pieces, right? In FPS games, when you watch an FPS game, you kind of talk about isolating fights. It's the same in League of Legends to a degree, but in FPS is like, oh, you don't want to overexpose yourself so that when you're fighting two people at once, you just want to be fighting the one person at a given moment. And that's what I feel like Kansas kind of has to do here. They have to isolate fights in such a way that they're only going to deal with Leona plus Jinx or Leona plus Tristana at the same time, or you're dealing with Cho on his own. But you can't deal with Cho plus Jinx plus Tristana, because the second you start to do that, you may start to get rolled over. And if there's an Ivern in the mix, it becomes very difficult quickly, because Ivern gives a lot of shielding.
Yeah. A lot of survivability. The redemption comes through.
This would
it'll
be
be interesting.
So I know I've said no lethality. I'm aware of that, okay? And I'm aware on hit is the right way to go. On the record for this, okay? I also think this is a really high value Serpent's Fang game, which is the lethality sword that you usually don't build on Varus, but is specifically made to deal with champions that like to shield a lot and increases damage for those champions.
Yeah.
Cho'Gath, Leona, Ivern, that's a lot of like Cho. I know Cho doesn't have shields on his own really, but even with Ivern and Leona, that feels like a lot of shielding value. And especially because Leona's probably, I was to say, Leona's gonna build Locket. That feels like a lot of value you can get off of an anti-shield item. But to fit it into one of these builds is a little awkward if you're going on hit Varus. If you choose to go lethality Varus, that's a big item that I would be surprised if it wasn't picked up.
Yeah. Really interesting comps here. As Mech, you mentioned before, you wanted the spice, you wanted some of the interesting comps to come through. Ottawa versus Kansas, absolutely delivering on
There
that.
is no Corky, no Azir.
Oh my gosh!
We have
What?
life. It's insane. No Corky, no Azir. Holy.
The Azir was left open. Honestly, pretty surprised no one picked it.
Hey, I'm not gonna complain, okay? I'm not gonna complain about it. No Ash, right? It feels like it's a new interesting game. This match, like it feels like we've got teams that other teams just aren't really willing to play, because there's not many teams right now that are really willing to play double AD carry with Tristana Jinx. And there's not many teams who are really willing to play Cho'Gath right now, and there's no one willing to play what Kansas has going on with a Cascio Garen. That's really, really off the beaten path, and I think it's a good way for both these teams to kind of figure out how they want to play the game. Is stick to their guns, stick to what they know, and play through their own win conditions.
100% the road less traveled by, for sure, for both these squads. It should be super fun to see. I think that Riverside, I'll be expecting, I think we talk a little bit about, we mentioned him earlier. We're just calling out Riverside at the whole draft, essentially.
Yeah.
Jokingly, of course.
No, not jokingly. We're just...
Riverside, get it! No. I think the Garen Cho matchup may be one to watch as we hop onto the Rift. Some League of Legends has begun. Summoners, welcome to game number 1. 30 seconds until the minions come on and join the party. We've got Phase Rush Garen in the top lane. Lethal Tempo Varus. We had a feeling it was going to be on hit. and this will be a fun one to watch. Blonde in the mid lane go and press the attack. Tristana,
Yeah.
super aggressive early on, should be dishing out a lot of damage. We got to keep our eyes out to see, you know, the Cassio pick, starting tier of the goddess. No health, no additional health. Does have Conquer, but that will be something I'm keeping my eye on as, you know, Plux, just as always, super aggressive, is looking maybe for a play.
Not just Plux being aggressive, but Blonde can throw the explosive charge on the head and kind of push that really carefully to push a lot of damage onto Hashiwa in the mid lane. So this Cassio may have a little bit of a difficult time early. Cho'Gath, in fact, did not go for the AP build. Kind of sad. On the other hand, it's probably better that this is a full tank build for team comp, though I do wonder a little bit about the AP damage, or maybe lack therefore of.
Yeah, right? For the Sejuani here, super easy to just go ahead and build full armor, and you'll be kind of chillin' outside of any potential danger of a Cho'Gath execute, right? So overall, should be pretty easy, but we see the Ottawa squad so good at taking advantage of the level 2, and that's going to be an easy first blood. That's like clockwork. You can catch that, you know, almost every time. The Ottawa ADC knowing their power spike, knowing when to go in. Plux, not one to shy away from those opportunities.
And we do see Riverside doing quite well in top lane here, playing on this Cho'Gath. Right, grass procs already, doubled in CS for Jbu. Just, I think it feels good right now to watch the Ottawa side. If you're an Ottawa fan, up 6k to 600 gold to start. And it feels like they're quite content with where they are really early in this game at this like sub 3 minute mark.
Yep, Prod's gonna head back down, speed run the bottom side of this jungle and complete his full clear. A little bit ahead of the curve, but Ivor and Sejuani right about at the same pace. Riverside has to be careful. His wave in a bit of a peculiar position, though he does have the Tri-Brush warded. What could be a move is a little lane gank based on where the wave is. We'll see. Sejuani gonna get spotted. Riverside again, he does really want to push this wave in, but he's gonna get caught out before being able to do so. Sejuani coming in, finding the stun, and that's gonna be an easy kill. That's what we were worried about.
Oh!
Hashiwa gets a kill on to Blonde, the Tristana pick. Coming in, it's not a mage. Blonde's going to be tested here a little bit as well. Kind of surprising to see, but the Twin Fangs early on, so powerful, mech.
Yeah, they're really powerful. I'm both the solo laners for Ottawa University were really just far out of position there. I felt like Blonde knew he was a little too far up and tried to get out, but Riverside kind of sacrificed himself after a minute to try and do something, but there was no cross map play, nothing. Right right now, bot lane is walking back. There was no plate taken. Grubs weren't up yet. Feels like it was just kind of kills that didn't have to go anywhere. That didn't have to happen.
We'll see the junglers kind of reset. Prod, not a whole lot of places to be. He does not have smite available, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But he did pick up both Scuttle Crabs, so he's got a small CS lead. Meanwhile, Hashiwa on the Cassiopeia is just doing so much work with the Twin Fangs. Blonde having a hard time in this lane. Meanwhile, look at the bot lane for Ottawa. They're roaming up as Prod gets aggressive. And this was what I was thinking about happening, right? Against Sejuani in the jungle, Prod gets full onus to try to look for some of these early invades. What is less than ideal, mech, is Hashiwa winning lane in mid for Kansas.
Winning lane, yes. I don't know how long this lane will be won for. Plux uses a flash over the wall, full whiffs and misses for the moment. But it looks like they're still trying to fight this. There's no damage here.
This is a
Now
40
there's the damage.
in favor. There's going to be a Petrifying Gaze miss, but look at Siphon. Look at Neo coming up and joining the fight. Blonde's going to try to flash away, but the Twin Fangs sink in and finish off the Ottawa mid laner. Meanwhile, Siphon picks up a double kill. June did not roam up with the numbers advantage. Kansas takes advantage and wins the fight.
Yeah, June was able to get one solo plate there, so it's not. Oh well,
So who
sorry.
really won the fight, Mac?
No, he wasn't able to get the solo plate. It looked like he did, but it wasn't there. So, I mean, it's a free win right now for Kansas University trying to get, like, in that one specific fight, right? They got the kill. That's what they really needed to do. And the only person that had to sacrifice was Waddick.
And as the Sejuani, I'll take that. That's
Yeah,
kind of the role. That's the job description, right?
Dying for the team, dying for the squad. Will be both top laners, level 6 now. It's a huge power spike for both them. Feast for Cho'Gath and Demacia and Justice, as Varus just gets absolutely shredded in bot lane. Nothing Nico can do about it.
Yeah, that's how I feel like it goes generally when going up against Plux's Leona. The kill lane, bot lane going to work. We get a little picture up top. Riverside gonna steal away the scuttle, but Kansas did pick up 3 Void Grubs for their trouble. Now here comes the Plux Prod Death Squad as Blonde jumps over the miasma, stun up. Here comes some additional damage. Blonde's just gonna let Prod take care of business, and Ottawa answers back quickly.
Yeah, Ottawa's starting to answer back quite quickly. Jabu is kind of in an awkward position now out front of this turret. Prod and Plux, right? You said that Death Squad coming for him right now towards the top lane. It may not be a free kind of win that he thought it was going to be. Root will take place. Feast comes through in a moment. No, he's already used it. Either way, we'll grab that kill.
A little bit of a questionable proxy decision, right? You just saw Prod do his full tour of the map. He started in bot, heads up to mid, makes 2 plays in quick succession, and then caps it off with the cherry on top, in top. And that's going to be 3 lanes impacted by Prod's Ivern very, very quickly here. Do you see Kansas gearing up for Dragon? They've got a lot of DPS on objectives here, Mac, and it just does not stand a chance. Ocean Drake gets picked up here at the 8.5 minute mark. We've got a pretty even game. There's certainly been a lot of back and forth.
It does seem like there's a lot of back and forth, and it seems like there's a lot of attempt for fighting right now towards the bot lane. We're in the top lane right now. Even though there's a bit of a health disparity, Riverside is not going to fight this sitting at 0 mana.
Yeah, I feel like it's been a minute since he's been able to back, so this is going to be a huge recall for him. Picks up just a buttload of health. Giant's Plate in Giant's Belt, in Ruby Crystal picked up for him. Meanwhile, Blonde trying to shove in the wave. Not a whole lot of objectives to look for, but Prod does get a recall off. And look at all the green dots on the Ottawa side of the jungle. He's looking to do a quick tour through his jungle and then hopefully hit back the lane.
So the kind of goal with Ivern here is wants to keep chain ganking through. Blonde's getting pushed in very quickly in mid. This is generally not how the Tristana lane wants to go. You want to be able to push it forward, get the explosive bombs off quickly on these towers, and try and just shred as many plates as possible. The Casio not helping that effect right now for the Ottawa side. He continued fighting in the top lane. This is just going to continuously go through until he gets as many stacks on Feast as he wants. But the explosive bomb going through already. Plux goes over the wall. Can't find it on the flash.
Fights across the rift as games happen in top and mid. For Kansas, they get the better end of this deal this time around. A kill onto Riverside as Jabu on the Garen has got himself another kill, and once again restoring glory to Demacia through Beautiful Justice. Finishes Riverside off with the ultimate. Again, a close game here. through the early game. June and Siphon have been kind of left to their own devices. A solid cleanse as the Nico ultimate is going to be flashed away. Blonde is teleporting from mid, and we've got a potential turnaround. Is Siphon going to try to flash away from this one, but the Mega Death Rocket connects. June is on a killing spree, having a fantastic game on the Jinx, and Levi's successor living up to the hype for the Ottawa ABCs. He's picking up right where Levi left off.
He's playing so incredibly well. Hashiwa's now caught out in mid, but there's not much damage here. Prod and Pluck's in the right place. No Daisy yet to follow up either. So just be some trades of cooldowns. Nothing actually given up from Hashiwa in terms of the ultimate or the summoner spell department.
Void Grubs have respawned on the top side of the map. 3 more available as the Xenoflame misses. Glacial Prison coming up soon. Siphon has roamed up to mid, but so has June. Oh, it's not Siphon. It is indeed Neo on the Nico. Even I got a little mixed up there seeing him. I saw 2 Varises on the map. I was like, wait a minute, that's not the real Varus in mid. So Siphon is left all on his lonesome to pick up a turret plate as Ottawa turns their attention to Void.
I think Blonde feels pretty good about this rotation here. He's okay to be on the side lane, and Siphon has been very much left alone on the side lane, as well as June. We can continued push into this bot lane, and the Grubs right now, as Riverside has had Gabu basically shoved into the turret the entire game.
Ottawa able to even out the Void Grub score, as I feel like that's kind of par for the course with Cho'Gath. The E ability, he's just going to be able to shove the waves in so effectively. Neo gonna try to do some trickery here with the Sejuani. Now switches to Garen. I think that's going to give Blonde a little bit of know-how. There are no flashes available for the Kansas bot lane, so low overall threat, it seems like, for a dive, as Blonde's going to be able to get off a recall, and the map sort of resets here. A close game so far to start our best of 3.
And we see first items being finished here. Stridebreaker for Jabu in the top lane. Generic Garen build. Can't say much more about that, but the interesting items are in the jungle, where we see Sejuani going Zeke's Convergence first, which is a really good low economy jungle item. And the same over on the other side for this Ivern going Mikhail's Blessing to make sure that the rest of his team does not get CC'd. We talked about it before the game even began, that there was so much CC over on this Kansas side, and that seems like a really good purchase by Prod to make sure that he's dealing with what the enemy is.
Riverside does have teleport, but it is Prod who's caught out first to start the fight, and the rest of the team cannot follow up. Dragon is going to be secured. Riverside is teleporting down, and Jabu's going to try to take the road less traveled by. June dishing out so much damage as Wada goes down. The clone gets fired on. June trying to get excited, looking for more kills, but it's going to be an even trade, as I think Riverside was able to feast a little bit on Sejuani. Jabu decides not to finish his journey. He's going to look to pick up this turret on the top as Riverside walks back up. Really interesting fight we saw there, Mech, right? Prod getting caught out first. It's kind of tough to save everyone else from CC when you end up, when the Ivern gets stuck up first.
Not particularly helpful. Not particularly helpful there. See what they want to do here. It is 8-7, 15 minutes on the clock right now. The Otacon will show up in the top lane in just a couple moments. Rift Herald on the board if they want to grab it in a couple of moments as well.
Kansas has been fun to watch in this game so far. Hashiwa's cast, I was a little worried, Mech, that it would survive the early game, but here it is looking super strong. Roa and
winning the
Sarah's
early game.
Embrace complete, right? Well, he showed up, you know. I feel like Tristana, I'm always worried about an early game pop-off or an early game domination, and he was hitting noxious blasts all over the place, and, you know, just really well played from Hashiwa.
Yeah, and he's now just matching Tristana in the bot lane, continues to push up a level on this Tristana as well, up a full item right now, which is really quite rich in this game, is Hashiwa. The Rod of Ages will only make this Cassio's life better and better as the game continues on. Blonde's gonna have to do a lot to try and stop him in the side lane, but Jabru and Riverside are to get into this age-old fight that we've seen in the top lane a million times this game, which is them just wailing on each other.
As it goes between the teams. Let's see, Ottawa maybe looking for a play in the mid lane. Neo is going to be the one flashing away, takes away the flash, no ultimate potential here, just a little bit. Blonde trying to clear the wave. Hashiwa just going to back off, senses a little danger, but does have Watak on the Sejuani here. Dragon going to be spawning in 2 minutes. Look at maybe making a play on June and Flux in the mid lane.
Siphon's going to be a lot of the damage that'll come out later in this game. I know that Cassio does a ton, but on-hit Varus does a ton as well. And I'm still looking at this a little bit worried about where they sit with this Cho'Gath. Now, Cho'Gath does not have any actual resistances yet, just sprinted for Warmogs after the Synchronized Souls. We'll probably go Fimbulwinter after this, judging by the tier in inventory. That's going to get stunned up, but it shouldn't lead to much more than that. They want to go on Hashiwa, but they can't really go there either. June's trying to take down Watak.
A lot of Jinx peppering. Let's see if the damage comes through. Eventually, June is able to work through all that armor and pick up a solo kill. Watak will be back up for the objectives, but maybe an opportunity here for Ottawa to open up the mid lane with Rift.
Lux is just gonna get caught for a moment. Not very long, and yeah, there it is right there. That's the Herald in the mid lane. Looking like it's gonna be used quickly.
Jabu is here with Flash. I don't know if Ottawa knows he's there, but Ottawa makes the right call, decides to not be aggressive.
Good Flash.
Away from the chain of corruption, almost caught out there. Certainly would have been a death sentence as Ottawa gets narrowly away from that sticky situation in mid.
It does seem like Ottawa University is kind of coming online a little bit on the back of this double AD carry. The Yuntal Wild Arrows are just kind of starting to get online at this point. All right, you need to take, what is it? 5 hits gets you 1 crit chance, so 125 autos or something like that in order to get the full effect of the item. But once you get the full effect of the item, it is quite good. Gives you a ton of stats on it. So start being able to complete those sooner rather than later. Riverside is caught out a little bit, stunned on top of each other.
Flux and Jago gonna face off. June is safe in the back line. Neo only catches Riverside as the Cho'Gath still healthy. Hashiwa slowed up by the zap. Where is the damage for Ottawa? June trying to fire in the rockets. Not gonna join things. June may be caught out here. Jago trying to take him down. It's Flux that goes down, trying to frontline for the rest of the team. Meanwhile, Blonde picks up a kill. June's still sick, but he gets stunned up by the petrifying gaze. Hashiwa looking to turn around the fight, but he can't. June popping off. He's getting excited. Eventually gets taken down, but Blonde is on janitor duty. Cleans up and gets the ace.
Yeah, so this is the thing we said about before in the early game about you need to isolate your fights here, that you cannot fight in a full 5-on-5 against a Cho'Gath with double AD carries, especially if you're not building pure armor. And we see Sejuani is just straight not building pure armor. it becomes really difficult to play against double AD carry composite because they are so okay to just push in side lanes. And this Cho'Gath did not take damage during that fight, right? You saw went down to half health and did not leave half health. A Fimbulwinter and a Warmogs is all he's got. He has no full resistances. I don't expect him to get any anytime soon.
Yeah, crazy. And with that thought in mind, I know I'll often kind of look at it and nitpick itemization, but Siphon going whole breacher, whole breaker.
Hull breaker. I don't hate it.
This why?
It's not normal. This is not normal at any degree. Okay, let's start there. This is not what I would call normal.
Maybe for the health, June avoids getting stunned up, but it's Hashiwa teleporting into the mid lane where we've got a 2-on-3. Hashiwa taking a lot of damage from June, but now the slow comes through and so much damage from Cassiopeia. June gets taken down once again. Jebu coming up as well and swiftly serves some justice.
So, Varus right now seems to be playing on the side lanes anyway, okay?
Okay.
And if you're gonna play on the side lanes, it kind of makes sense to buy Hullbreaker. I'm not saying it's good, okay? Let's be very clear. It also does have an on-hit effect, which is the hitting against tower.
Fraud gets caught out first. He's way too early for the rest of the team. He tries to go in with Daisy. Now Riverside maybe looking for a piece to steal. Chain of Corruption is not available. Super Mega Death Rocket comes in and a big explosive charge shakes up the fight. Unbelievable. Blonde with a triple kill absolutely transforms the fight. Now Riverside is left alone with the Otacron. Says, get in my belly. Eats that up as well. Blonde goes godlike in the Tristana. Unbelievable play coming out of Ottawa.
Really good fight there, and it just started with Cho'Gath just walking up, being this giant tank in the top lane and saying, I know we can fight this. It just has to be the two of us. We can do enough damage. I can tank enough, and that's all it needed to be. Riverside just walked up on the Cho'Gath, and that's all it was.
Boom, easy. And shout out Blonde, really solid positioning there. A lot of the ultimates, I think, were somewhat missing from Kansas, so it was an aggressive look. Siphon was low, trying to DPS Otacon. It was a risky bet, and unfortunately for Kansas, they blow a lot trying to take out Prod immediately. I think it was a good look. But again, they are struggling to have an answer for Riverside, and with him being such a good frontliner at the moment, the backline carries are taking over this game. June and Blonde with huge back-to-back fights. Jebu and Wadak gotta be careful. This Baron does not have any armor, and here comes the damage. June just gonna melt through Wadak as well. He's got the Lord Dominic's ready to go. We're talking huge damage from the Jinx.
That ultimate did hit, by the way, in mid lane. That ultimate from June did hit. Didn't kill anyone. They were able to take this tier 2 tower. That's their second tier 2 tower taking this game, 5 overall. And I think they're just looking to push right into this base because who's going to stop them right now? Cassio and Garen are incredibly short range. They cannot do anything about this. Inhib down already. They're just still pushing.
Flash from Prod, I believe. Yeah, Prod trying to look for a flash Q. Hashiwa gets caught by the rupture. Prod dishing out. He's got Daisy. Wadak has come back up like the present. Wombo combo coming through, but June and Blonde are safe in the back line. That's who we care about. That's where the damage is coming from, and that is who's gonna melt Kansas. Blonde goes legendary. June's getting excited once again. The Rockets' red glare as the Braves take over team number 1. That's going to be another inhibitor turret going down. No minions to keep this pushing. He's going to try to out DPS Hashiwa here. It's a close battle because Zaku next. And the ace comes through. The minions have arrived. And Mech, out of nowhere, believe it or not, the Braves win 3 consecutive fights, 3 to 4 consecutive second fights there, and they're just able to storm through this match and quickly end it off. Unbelievable. I was not expecting this game to end this quickly, but Ottawa, when they turned on the gas, they started cooking.
Was it really out of nowhere? Like, there's an actual bit, like, Cho'Gath just had so much health. He could just walk wherever he wanted. He had the Mundo card, right? Like, like, you know, like some people have like an ID card. He's got a Mundo card. He can walk where he pleases.
I can go, yep.
And
Slides in.
he just walked right into the tower, and with double AD carries,
yep.
with Leona to hit stuns, with shields from Prod, what more are you supposed to do? Like, you can't kill them even when they're under tower, because if Cho'Gath just takes the tower aggro, he gets shielded up, he gets help from the Leona on stuns, he does a bunch of AP damage. You saw that Sejuani had to actively build magic resist in order to defend against Cho'Gath, who was the only magic damage on that team.
Yeah, it was tough. And with, I think as well, we saw June instantly opt for the Lord Dominic's. He's like, whatever armor you get early on, I'm going to try to slice and dice through it. Overall, super clean game from Ottawa. I think showcased their team fighting prowess, because these were some tricky team fights to navigate. But I think kind of like you said towards the end of the game, the low range of Kansas made the team fights a lot harder to navigate for them.
Yeah. When you've got a Jinx and a Tristana that are being backed up by this Cho'Gath and the Ivern, what are you supposed to do? Your longest range AD carry is Varus, who's not particularly long range. He's got some range on him, but not incredibly long. But he's dead. So what's your bit past that? If Cassio is your next longest range carry into that kind of comp, is really hard to kind of play against.
Yeah. Well played from Ottawa here. Finishing up game number 1 in 25 minutes. Clean that one up quick. Again, no kidding. I really wasn't expecting. There was no Baron. It was just kind of push. Back-to-back fights won, and Cho'Gath was their Baron buff, essentially.
He's there.
With the Warmogs as well, I think it helps that push happen. But overall, that's going to do it for game number 1. Don't click out of that browser. Game number 2 coming up shortly as the best of 3 continues. Kansas University will try to bring this one back as the Braves look for a clean sweep. I know I'm excited to see what's even just going to be drafted in the next game. Be sure to stick around. We'll be back right after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our continuing coverage here, the Midwest Esports Conference. We are getting right back into our streamed matchup for this lovely Wednesday night. Week number 5 here in the spring 2025 CLOL season as Kansas takes on Ottawa. Game number 1, 25-minute victory for the Ottawa Braves as June and Blonde absolutely took over that game on the double 80 carry comp.
So the interesting thing about that composition is I don't know if you ban any of it if you are the Kansas side.
It's tough to
the
play
thing
around.
you may ban is like the Jinx.
The Ivern,
I don't. Maybe the Ivern. I don't think you can ban. I don't think you were willing to ban the Cho'Gath, and I don't think you need to ban it or the Tristana. I think they were both really good in game, but they're not at the same place. We see Ottawa already starting this draft differently. It's a karma pick.
Salty run back.
For Kansas, you mean?
Both teams, same bans.
Well, on bans, but there's a karma locked in, so we've got.
Karma
We're changing
Jungle,
draft already.
Karma Jungle, classic prod, same as the Ivern, same function.
Okay,
same clear.
but
no, okay.
But hear me out, right? Like Riverside is a former mid lane player, and every
Allegedly.
mid lane player's secondary role is support. Okay, just because it is. So are you telling me that Riverside doesn't know how to play Karma? He definitely knows how to play Karma.
Doesn't seem very Plux, unless Plux was unfortunately. I feel like it's Plux's worst nightmare to hear coach say, "We're putting you on Karma." He's like, God.
So little draft prep here. This Hui that's picked from Kansas, almost certainly going into the bot lane. Don't think it's going to be going into the mid lane. I think this is a Hui AP carry. Oh, we could be in interesting times again. In just a moment, before that gets locked in, Wukong over on the Kansas side. We've seen some Wukong this season. It's been pretty good when we've seen it, and that is a Kindred lock in on the Ottawa side. We're getting interesting draft part 2.
Ash may be coming through in the ADC Hui. Going to be functioning, I think, mostly as a bot laner. He's able to clear the waves super effectively. Should hopefully lead to a less scary level 2. As he's got the range, should hopefully be able to set up Kansas for not getting level 2 killed again. That felt bad. We looked at the history before for Kansas. It looks like they're potentially going back to this Hui Seraphine bot lane, which against Ezreal Karma, it gives me ARAM vibes because it's just going to be skill shot dodging the whole time. And
Against Ezreal.
You're going to be trying to avoid the poke as much as you can, but Nami does come through instead, and it could serve to actually kind of help counteract a lot of the poking that Ottawa's trying to do.
Yeah, I like that. I think you can push a lot there, and you kind of just force abilities out with your with the bubble and with the wave. I think you just force a lot of spells out with that. I'm still not convinced that this is a Karma in support. I'm really not convinced about this, so
Yeah.
we'll have to wait. It could be a Karma Ezreal bot lane. That would be the thing that makes a lot of sense.
I'm imagining the doubt, the doubt meme.
I got Spidey senses tingling here, man. Okay, I got some. Hands are a little tingling over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
No way. Oh, wow.
Okay, so we saw this morning. We saw this this morning in First Stand tournament. Zeus played Vladimir top lane. Okay, as a counter, I think into Ambessa, but I could be wrong about that one. It was also played with a Zed mid. It was a really weird game. Okay, but I'm interested. Call me interested again.
Color him
Color me
intrigued.
Yeah. Okay.
Blonde is gonna respond with a Cassiopeia of his own. Says, hey, you know, that felt pretty bad to play against in the early game. Let's see how Hashiwa feels on the receiving end of the Twin Fangs. And this is gonna be a big pick. This is crazy if it comes through.
I hope this is a call out. I think the Garen was just
I think
the Garen was just a call out.
Riverside has been wanting to play Fiora all season long. In his heart, he is a true top lane carry, and this is going to be his time to shine on the pick. The Karma move speed, I think, really providing a lot of value here. Either speeding in a Cass, speeding in a Fiora, Nightmare Fuel. I think for Kansas is they've got to be really careful. There's pretty much no tanks in this game as the final pick gets locked in. A lot of the champs will have high health bars, but this is going to be a really, really interesting match. There are no true tanks here in this game.
There's no AD for Kansas.
Who needs it?
There's Wukong.
Not the
Wukong
ideal game to build Black Cleaver, probably.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. There's not much. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just a little.
It's a bit of a curveball.
I don't know about this Kansas draft, man. It feels like they're heavily indexing into AP. I like stuff in isolation here, right? I like the Hui Nami bot lane. That makes sense. I think I actually would prefer Hui Seraphine just to get a little bit more engage. I think Seraphine Ultimate's really good at engage, and I think Nami Wave is less so. I think they're kind of one for one in this context either way. It feels like there's a lot of slows and a lot of AP, and it feels like in order to win a fight, they're not going to nuke anyone really quickly, right? You don't have the AD carry like, Ezreal will hit you with 2 shots and you're done. It feels very poke, and it feels like it's going to take a lot of spells and rotations to take down most of the Ottawa members. I think the Kindred pick is actually really smart into this. I know it was picked really early, but I think it's really smart into this because you can survive those spell rotations really quickly. They waste spell rotations while you're sitting in Kindred ult, and you may not waste those spell rotations, and you can just do a lot of damage. I do not know what the current state of Fiora is. I'm gonna be really honest here. I have no clue what Fiora looks like in 2025.
The state is just Riversided vibes.
I feel like the state is Gore Drinker is not in the game anymore, and Divine Sunderer is not in the game anymore. So what's the next item up in top lane to play Fiora with?
Rush?
I think it's Ravenous into... It's not Ravenous into Strikebreaker. You can't do that.
Early Maw?
Oh, Fiora is such a bad champion to build Maw on, though.
Very true.
It just doesn't feel good to build it on her.
Trinity Force? Fiora?
Yeah, I guess it's Ravenous Triforce. I kind of hate it.
Kind of a throwback to when...
Kind of hate it.
Kind of when Gordrika or Divine Sunder weren't items. I feel like that was sometimes common. Maybe Frostfire Fiora? Like a tank Fiora build with Grasp?
I think it's going to be Grasp either way. Grasp is really strong right now. I think it's Grasp either way. Because your Q procs Grasp, I believe.
Which feels good, yeah.
Which feels really good. And your E procs Grasp, which feels really good. I don't know how I feel about tank Fiora here tonight. I could see a Hullbreaker Fiora if they want to really like sit through that.
Yeah.
I really want to identify with the split push because you have a really powerful 1-3-1 with Fiora in a side lane and Cassio in a side lane, and then put Ezreal, Karma, Kindred in mid lane. I think that's a really powerful 1-3-1. I don't think there's any like 3 champions. Maybe if you put Vlad and Victor and Hui in mid lane, that could really match that as a 1-3-1, but you can't do that with the other 2 on the side. So it feels to me really quickly like this comp could get out of hand for Ottawa. We saw last game the comp kind of get out of hand. Kind of see where it goes this game. Mac, which comp do you want? Which comp, if you're playing, or if you're coach of your own team, which comp are you playing here?
Show me Ottawa, number 1. Like
I wish we got a photo of that. We could have memed that so well.
What I'm most excited about is Prod on the Kindred. I am super excited to see how Ottawa plays around him. I wonder if this time around, I think Hashiwa's Cass really kind of messed up the early game plan of Ottawa. I think this time around, Blonde should maybe be able to put a lot of pressure in mid. Kindred maybe look for some early invades. Wukong is naturally going to be a lot stronger early, but I'll be curious to see how all the lanes try to play around Prod's Kindred. If that takes up a lot of the early game advantages and gets rolling, it's going to be another quick game for Ottawa, because Prod on a carry like Kindred just gets me so excited to watch this match.
I'm quite excited. I do be quite excited here. I'm kind of sitting in quite excited land. I'm looking at this. It feels
A lot of AP
like
on Kansas.
there's a lot of AP on Kansas.
Yeah. Generally, it's like too much salt in a dish. You know, it's gonna maybe mess up the recipe a little bit. And it's really less than ideal for your cooking, you know? When you're trying to put things together, too much AP kind of might lean towards messing things up. But again, with Ottawa not having a lot of tanks, is the AP as much as a tough thing? Because are they, you know, like how much into MR are they going to be itemizing? Maybe Ezreal and Kindred each pick up a Maw to help out? Is that enough to shut down the Kansas comp?
You don't want to build Maw on either of them, though. It feels so bad
Exactly.
to build Maw on most champions in this game. It's like Aatrox and Investor are like the only two that really care, and you don't even really want to build it on Aatrox. It just has become normalized to build it on Aatrox.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so bad to build it on them. Investor's the only person that really wants to build it, and that's so new. There's gonna be some weird stuff that goes on here to try and get some of this going through. Yes, I agree with you in terms of like, there's not going to be much resistances anyway, so who cares if it's APAD? But the second you build a little bit of resistance,
It does. It
Like,
has a lot more value.
yeah, do you go like lock it here if you're Karma? Do you go tank Karma?
Grass
There's some, like,
Karma.
Grass part steal Karma is a real thing. That's a really real thing. You can play that in top lane. It's disgusting.
Oh, and yeah, that maybe support.
Well, it's
I know there
too
was
rich
the
for
grass-
support.
There was the grass part steal Pantheon build, right?
Yeah, but you generally get a lot of kills early by playing Pantheon. You don't when you're playing Karma.
Yeah, I guess a small difference, but as I'm sure everyone hears in their headphones, the sound that we all the League players have heard many a time, the instant pings on the map, as we take a moment to welcome summoners onto the Rift for game number 2 of our best of 3 series. Jabo on the Victor getting caught out here. Insta-root gonna try to flash over the wall, but doesn't get the opportunity. And who is it that gets the first blood? It is Prod's Kindred off to the hot start.
It's not a great place to give that kill to. To be fair, there's not many people you really want to give the kill to.
No. But out of all the options,
Kindred just does not feel great, right? That you already see that the Kindred has backed and purchased a dagger to start that helps speed up the clear a good chunk. It feels really good for Kindred to speed up this clear. All right, well, both solo laners are named V. We will have a sample size of 1 to determine if you have both solo laners with the picked with a V initial, does that win you the game? Big experimentation time tonight. Someone needs to ask them, okay?
we do. Oh, is Prod a genius? They have. This is some crazy early warding from Kansas. They actually get both options. They're gonna spot Prod's invade, and Watok should be able to head down bot. Siphon and Neo, it looks like, aren't gonna be able to roam up because they're getting shoved underneath turret. And this is what I wanted to see, right? I had a feeling this would happen in the bot lane with the Ezreal Karma. Prod's gonna be able to have his way and kind of path as he sees fit. We'll see if they look for a dive. I think it'll be pretty tricky though with the Ezreal Karma.
I think it will be. Ezreal Karma's a really safe lane, and even if Karma dies, Ezreal won't. Flash E, Karma E, it's a lot of ability to not die. We will note here, Jabu has not taken Teleport, opting for Ghost Flash instead. Siphon has taken Teleport on this way, as they're going in for a little bit of a kill here on this Victor. Not looking good for the double Vs in this game, and Hashua goes down to Blonde.
Looking at Watak, I don't think he actually cleared the blue buff. He's just gonna have to instantly recall as Prod's gonna be feeling great with his early jungle pathing and 2-kill start. This has got to be worst case scenario for Kansas. I was thinking earlier, right? Prod is gonna be your guy to watch in the early game, and he's popping off and having a great start. Though unfortunately, we'll see the Kindred mark is on the bottom scuttle, so we'll see if he's able to work his way down. Look, he is zooming towards it. We may just get an early fight around this scuttle crab, as even Flux is roaming up from bot to ensure that his jungler is able to get it, and that's what Ottawa drafted for with this team of theirs, dominating the early lanes.
All right, so we are working on getting the Kindred clicked on the left side. Click on the blue guy. Yeah, perfect, excellent, exactly what we needed. Kindred right now on 1 mark. We'll keep this up as much as we can this game. We will keep this up. But the 1 mark is kind of where we needed to sit right now. So they'll continue going forward as the game goes on, but 1 mark, 4 marks is the big break point. For the word mark a lot in that sentence.
We got lots of metrics to watch out for.
Lots of marks here.
Prod has marked the Wukong, and he's actually going for another invade, looking for a kill, and this may be a hunter that has found their mark. Blue team has already claimed the feat of warfare. Ottawa picking that up extremely early on, and June's Ezreal's able to play very safe against the Hwei Nami. He's just chilling. He's actually shoving the wave in. I wonder if Kansas is going to be able to freeze the wave to maybe put June in an uncomfortable position, but Ottawa playing the early game pretty flawlessly so far.
Yeah, right there you see Fiora doing exactly what we said she was going to do, using the Q, dashing in, grabs some amount of grass proc, but this is aggression here from June and Plux. I'm liking it.
Having a great early game once again. Big CS lead for June as Prod's not done with his jungle advantage. He's going to be pushing in. Plux trying to make sure nobody is roaming up. Same with Blonde, and this is what I was talking about during the draft. Ottawa on the bottom side of the map are pushing Kansas to their absolute limits here.
And right now it's the Prod show. Right now it's where Prod needs to be. Prod is. And just getting all of these marks on Kindred is so important early game. They have yet to be able to really deny much. He's got 2 at this point. See if he's able to get any more. Does seem like Watak is sitting right now on this grubs, this pot of grubs up in the top river. See if they're able to get it. The mark is on that scuttle up in top river. Just continued fighting down in bot lane. Siphon going to... Oh, he's going to be pushed back.
Look at June dashing in, does take a turret shot. Mystic shot goes wide. Meanwhile, Prod focusing on the Void Grubs. I think Watak's gonna try to respond on the bottom side of the map with Dragon, but the True Shot Barrage comes through! June levels up and picks up a kill. Unbelievable play. Watak gonna try to come in, but in the 1v2, what can you do?
All right, top lane going well quietly. I think is the plan. It looks very similar to last game, except the champions have been switched a bit, but Prod right now is an issue in this game. You'll notice that he and Wukong, that both this Kindred and the Wukong have the exact same items, but the jungle pet mate is a little farther down for this Kindred, a little bit more cash. The Kindred, letting her go for an all-in for a moment.
Flash connects and J-Bo picks up the solo kill onto Riverside. It's Fiora. Something going for Kansas, exactly what they needed. They're going to need a little bit more action, though, in this early game to keep on rolling. Prod, meanwhile, big CS lead in the jungle, decent CS lead down bot. Dragon not picked up by any of the teams just yet. And we'll see as Ottawa looks to maybe make a play down bot. Looks like Prod's just going to be taking Dragon.
And this is exactly what Prod wants to do. Wants to take objectives, wants to continue to push anything up on the marks.
Oh, this is going to be close.
Ooh!
Wow! Hashiwa survives with the well-timed flash, and unfortunately for Blonde, he's not able to pick up the kill as Prod secures the objective.
All right. I see you, Hashiwa, there. Using the fancy footwork just to walk out just a little bit. Does opt for the Tear of the Goddess in this game. I think Victor players are a little split right now on whether you should be going Tear on Victor in general, right? It feels like sometimes it's, oh, this is an ultimate right now from Riverside onto this Wukong.
Let's see, Hashiwa, is he going to be able to pick up yet another kill? The healing coming through from the Grand Challenge is just enough for Riverside to make that play a 1-for-1 as Prod looks to do some more jungle invading, more damage coming out. Maybe not an invade, but a tower dive in bot. Prod has his ultimate. I don't think he's going to need it as once again, Prod going hunting. Siphon in a really tough position here. Probably one of the easier dives we've seen happen on the season so far. Ottawa, this bot lane, June and Flux, a superstar duo in the making, taking care of business here on this Wednesday night.
Not only taking care of it, again, we've said it a million times, but Prod is doing incredible on this Kindred. Like, he had a good game last game with this Ivern. And felt like he was in a lot of places and definitely had a lot of value late in game. But this is a very different play than the Ivern. This is a carry jungler here. And it seems like Prod is just having an even better game than he was before. Riverside and pulled on again by this Vladimir, but it's not going anywhere yet. And a full Kraken Slayer already completed for Prod.
Dang. That is a crazy early game 2-0 lead. 20 plus CS lead as June and Flux are just going to keep on rolling. True Shot Barrage not available, but still so much damage from the 2-0-2 Ottawa ADC. June has been on point in this series.
See where they want to go from this point on, but Prod is the one with the cash. He is the one with the advantage in this game in totality. He's gonna get, sorry, that is Plux is gonna get jumped on. Flash will be used and he will get out.
Unbelievable. I don't know if we can say the same for June. A lot of damage, but look at the True Shot Barrage coming out. He's trying to turn this one around, but the shutdown goes over to Siphon. Here comes Blonde. Pass ultimate is available, but no flash to keep the chase going. And that duel gonna fall just a little short in the bot lane for Ottawa. Unfortunately, the numbers advantage for Kansas coming through. The Jayhawks making something happen.
A little bit of interesting. I've never seen an Ezreal E forward during an ultimate like that. We do have Prod already trying to get more onto Watak. It's really brutal right now. If you have to play against Prod, I don't know how much Victor can do. Spell rotation's already gone through. Now has to wait on cooldowns, and Prod doesn't need to as much. AD auto attack based champion. Just keep poking you out till you die.
Ottawa, a pretty interesting mid-game forming for them. They did get 5 Void Grubs, so that's going to set up Riversided for success, but struggling just a little bit in the lane. Pluck's only level 5. Karma, though, doesn't need the ultimate. Has given June a bunch of XP. Level 8 for the Ezreal, I think, feels really good overall. Again, for me, Mech, in this game, all eyes on Prod, as we'll see how the Kindred is able to transform this game. I think if you look at the composition from last time around, it was a little easier for Ottawa to execute pretty straightforward front-to-back team fighting. Without the tanks in this one, you've got a split pusher for Riversided, and the rest of the team who are maybe just going to be looking to poke as there's so much damage coming out of June at the moment. Look at this, Prod setting up another team dive under the bot turret. That's going to be more kills going in to the bot lane as they just keep on rolling. Maybe this is the game plan, Mech, just keep on diving bot.
At this point, it's working. So, I mean, I guess it's as good of a plan as any at this point. Malignance probably is completed on back for Karma here. Really big spike if you do want to play the more AP-focused Karma, which is what it seems like they Plex wants to do this game. But look at this. Riverside is just beating Watak straight up in the jungle. Really difficult for everyone involved, though. Blondus is going to have to come up and go back in from Riverside and going to come closer for him to kill, but Watak's just going to walk out right now.
Wow, the noxious poison does finish off. It's a 1-for-1, but look at the CS difference. Look at the XP lead. Jabo having a really good time in top lane this game. A little bit of a struggle for Riversided, but all eyes on the bot lane as the game plan continues. Neo's taken down once again. Let's see if Blonde can turn this 1v1 around. It's a lot of damage as the Twin Fangs sink in. Hashiwa trying to flash around, and Blonde just flashes away to survive.
Prod is just he's having a game. He's having an incredible game. I know we keep saying it over and over again, but it's super true. You see the beginnings of what is a Banshee's Veil over on the Cassiopeia. Does not want to get annoyed more by this Victor W.
Wow, the True Shot Barrage connects.
No
Prod
way.
going underneath the turret. He does have the ultimate to use right there, and that's going to be enough to get out. Watak not going to go over the wall. Flux is there for support, and Prod gets another kill.
At this point, you gotta really wonder.
Dude, he's got 121 CS.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a jungle diff right now. I'm gonna be honest. Prod feels like he's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a mark check on Kindred, please?
Thinking of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt. Oh, what's that on the screen? We've seen this one before. Watak trying to help turn this one around, trying to take down June, but he is pretty tricky to take down. Ghost proc to Jabo running around all over the place. Flash kill there onto Riverside as Prod getting doed around. Not sure how to handle this one, but eventually runs in the lane, takes care of business. Meanwhile, Prod and Hachiwa trying to fight it out in the 1v1 once again. Blonde, he's on a ward. Here comes Siphon. He's trying to heal up with the Twin Fangs, but he's going to get caught out here by Siphon's Quay. The damage strike, the Scorch ticking him down. Neo really doesn't want to take this kill, but Blonde's going to be running around. Is he going to be able to execute? I don't think so. There's Siphon finishing that one off.
It looked close. There was a world I saw there where he could execute, or it would be forced for Dami to grab that kill, which I think either would have been good, but a bit brutal right now for both of them. Siphon, he's the one with 2 kills on this team right now. The Vladimir at the same exact place. Both are at an item and change. They're going to be the ones that need to carry this game.
Objective bounties are already online. Prod gets more gold.
Watch
Just look
Prod
at this
inventory.
Back. Look
Yeah,
at
watch
this
this inventory
back coming through as he cashes in.
Oh my
Maybe a
goodness.
completed item. Yeah,
He-
collector
yeah, as a-
and BF sword. That was like 4K gold in his back pocket. Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I think
this
that's
is the prod game.
29
This is the
plus,
prod
like,
game.
I think he had 4.2k. Or 4.4k. Some ungodly, at least 4,000 gold. That's an incredible amount of money right there to just hold on Kindred. And you saw how impressively, like, oppressive Kindred was 5 minutes ago. Imagine what he'll do now with an extra EF sword and an extra full collector.
He is quite squishy though. Ultimate coming back online shortly. Javo's got to be the difference maker here. Level 13 on the Vladimir. Ottawa tried to use the Rift Hero, but can't cash in. Wadok just finds the engage onto June. A lot of long-range mage work coming in, but Wadok goes down. Prod is godlike. Teleport coming in as Blonde looks for his entrance, but again, so much damage. Look at the zoning capabilities, but here's Prod trying to find one, trying to find two. Goes in vulnerable. They can't take him down just yet. Another teleport coming in. Prod staying alive in the fight as Ottawa finds 4 kills and the mid lane turret. Unbelievable from them to manage that 4v5. Riverside trying to come in and clean up the rest of the team. The Jayhawks go down. It's an ace for the Ottawa Braves as they are taking over game 2.
Not only taking over, they have arrived. An 8-0-5 Kindred that you cannot kill at this point. It's really difficult to kill anyone on this team. It's really difficult to kill Kindred or Karma, and as long as both of them are up, there is obviously a chance here for Ottawa University. They feel incredibly good at this point. That's another dragon already taken for them, one away from Soul. Just money funneled into Prod's pockets.
Yeah, if we could get another gold check, honestly, that would be appreciated here just to see where the Ottawa jungler is at in this moment. Another 2K, that's going to be another completed item coming soon. Whatever his BF sword is building in. Just crazy game.
I'm hoping it's an
from him
IE.
So far. Would it be crazy to do Guardian Angel this early?
No. But I hope it's an IE. Nonetheless.
Oh my gosh, he stops his recall. He's gonna try to take this fight. He spent 8k gold, right? Which is already more than Kansas has at this point. We'll see if Ottawa looks to try to pick up the Otacon. They've got a lot of poke. They also have a lot of objective damage as Prod and Blonde are just gonna absolutely melt the objective. Kansas just has no opportunity here to join this one. Prod gets all of the ruinous Otacon funneled into him as the Kindred level 14 gets even stronger.
It's really tough to play against this Kindred right now, man. It is so difficult. If he goes back and builds a GA, I don't know how you kill Kindred. I really don't know how you'd kill him at this point. Right now, there's an opportunity, and it feels like Prod is being a little conservative with his backs here. Right, we saw him back at the 4K. We saw him back at he's just back now. It is an IE.
Oh my!
Oh, it's an IE. So he's only got 50% crit right now, including this IE, right?
Yeah.
Because Kraken Slayer does not give crit anymore.
Marks give crit?
No.
Okay. Only
I think
send attack range.
I believe, and AD. I don't think. Hold, please. We're gonna find out.
We have the means to answer these questions.
We have the means to answer these questions. It's just
it's super on point. Here's Hashiwa potentially locking some people down. We'll see if they can get Riverside going in the side lane. An early Hex Drinker for the Fiora to try to deal with some of these magic dealers. No Baron just yet. I think it's going to be a little bit harder for Ottawa to just walk into the base this time around. But let's see. Prod looking for picks in the side lane once again. Does have his ultimate available, mech. And look at the damage. Isn't able to complete the final stack. He wants it so bad. Let's see what Ottawa is able to do. June just arcane shifting in underneath turret. And is he going to be able to die for it? Yeah, the way ultimate goes through. Shut down for Siphon. Prod's got to run for the races, but here comes Jabo, dishing out a whole lot of damage on the Vladimir. Prod sidestepping some extra damage. He's just flashing in at this point. 1v3, gonna try to take on the whole team here against Kansas. Get some healing. Is gonna get 1,000 gold shutdown for Hashiwa, but look at one. The consistent damage, the consistent carry for Ottawa is gonna try to clean up that fight. Overall, it's a 2-for-2 between the two teams.
A lot of burst damage. A lot of burst damage from Prod, but it's not going to be enough to actually keep him alive. That's a big shutdown over to this Victor. It brings Victor back into the game a little bit.
Yeah, 1,000 gold straight into the pocket is going to go a long way. He's got 2 completed items now, as well as boots to help out.
I mean, on the other hand, Prod still has 3 completed items and has just completed his boots. So you're getting closer. I think it's the best way to put it. And we haven't talked much about Riverside after the lane phase ended here, but Riverside has been doing his job on Fiora, which is to be not near the rest of the team.
And just be a nuisance. He did pick up an inner turret while the rest of the team was fighting up top. Dragon's about to spawn mech, and something that's gone under the radar with Prod's awesome Kindred game, he's also been stacking up the dragons beautifully. Mountain Soul is on the table as the tidal wave comes in. Flux is the target, shut down over for Watak, but Blonde and June are safe. Prod's in the back line as well, and the Jayhawks get melted. As they try to look for a fight, they unfortunately come up short as Ottawa is able to melt through everyone. Prod just dashing in. So much damage on the Kindred. Siphon just gonna try to send Prod fleeing backwards, but yeah, this is Ottawa taking over here. Mountain Soul picked up by Blonde.
All right, well, Baron has spawned this game, and there's a Mountain Soul. Do they just go right to Baron?
They certainly have the comp to do it. Between Prod and Blonde, I don't think Baron is much of a challenge.
No, I think Prod can probably solo Baron right now.
Mountain Soul helps. Mountain Soul
Speaking of which, I need to talk about an issue I have with this game currently, which is there's no crit lifesteal items. Because Bloodthirst doesn't have a crit anymore, and Immortal Cringe Bow doesn't have any lifesteal on it. So this is my petition to have the game add another lifesteal crit item. It could be terrible. It could just be lifesteal and crit, and I'd be okay with that. But please let me build lifesteal crit, thanks. Because Bloodthirster is a really good item for Kindred here, but it does not help the crit portion.
Yeah. Hoping to get to that 100% crit with the Infinity Edge, but look at Riverside doing Fiora things. This is what he's dreamed about all season long, to play this Fiora, just to split push away from the team and not really do much else.
Just to never be with his teammates.
Yeah, exactly. That's all he's wanted so far. Baron Nashor is picked up, as you mentioned. Prod just going to be able to melt through it. He's going to be maybe looking to split top, as Riverside backs does have teleport, and that is a huge wave spot that he's going to go on ahead and teleport into. Blonde takes the reins up top. A little tough to split push though with the dot. A little hard to push into the turret, but yeah, inhibitor goes down easy peasy for Riverside. Mid inhibitor turret goes down in quick succession. Right after that, Mac and Ottawa are in firm control here. 15k gold lead. They're going to be trying to finish this one out as the inhibitors get taken down. Prod goes burr in the base.
Health bar is incredibly low as Kansas needs to go back to the fountain, drink up, and try to heal through this. But so much damage. Proud just flashing in, and he's just going to be facing the entire Kansas squad, DPSing through, and picks up everybody. It takes the fountain to take him down a triple kill to end this game with a cherry on top. Unbelievable performance out of the Ottawa Braves as they cleanly get the sweep over the Jayhawks. That was a game.
That was definitely one of the games of all time. Jeez. Well, if you were looking for the prod game of the season, hi, welcome. It's right here. This is the prod game of the season. Not to say that I don't think that he could actually be better than this within the season, or he has a bit better. But if you want to look at a game right now where prod was the guy,
was him,
look no further. Look no further.
Yeah, this one was exactly how Ottawa drew it up. The lanes shoving in, doing their thing. Prod started the game with the first blood. I mean, what more could you ask for from Prod? This was the kindred game from him, and kudos to him in Ottawa for taking care of business in this one.
Yeah, it felt really, really good. We're gonna head to a quick break. We have a very quick interview, and then we will be leaving for Smash tonight. But we're gonna have a really quick interview, so we're gonna jump to a break right now to not prevent Smash from having to wait for us any longer.
Woohoo!
welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Midwest Esports Conference Spring CLOL 2025 season. I am super excited to be joined by the Ottawa Jungler Prod coming off of a huge series. We got both sides of the Prod spectrum. We got the burn game and we got the Kindred pop-off carry. How are you feeling so far? I feel like we haven't gotten too many Ottawa games on stream this split, unfortunately. So how are you feeling through, this series and as well as the start of the season so far?
I will say that our last two series against KU, the last one we just played, and GVU, were finally starting to play not the worst League of Legends I've ever seen in my life. But I feel like every season with Ottawa, even before I was here, I've always heard that like the first half of the season we're just bots and lose every game. And then as soon as we realize like halfway through the season, like, oh guys, there's a real chance we might actually not make playoffs here. Let's start winning games.
Wait
and
a minute.
Everybody locks in. But it's kind of the same old, I guess.
Mac, this is where we don't tell them that everyone makes playoffs. Okay, this is how the motivation works here.
I mean, pretty much.
Let's start with this Kindred game, man, because you came out, you got the first kill, you got a really nice back into a dagger, which is a huge help for the clear to start, and then you snowballed the absolute hell out of this game. Where was this Kindred pick coming from? What happened that made you like get really fed in this game? How did that go?
Well, going into draft, we were never going to pick Kindred. We wanted to try Zyra and just play that and see how that felt. But
very different champion.
Yeah, we ended up going with Kindred. I think we kind of wanted to just be on comfort, and River wanted to play Fiora for once because he's been on tank every single game. So we were like, fine, like
that's what I was
we're
saying.
just gonna pick comfort, and then they ended up picking like very, I guess, don't want to leave lane champion, so I can just pick Kindred and never farm my camps. I don't think I hit my own Raptors or anything like that until maybe 13 minutes or something.
That's too funny. Prod, I know you've been on your grind for League, I feel like, since last CLOL, even during last season. Walk me through a little bit for maybe those watching that don't know, that I feel like a lot of your work ethic that goes into the game. Do you want to talk a little bit about, what you've been working on for the side, going in OQs and overall just participating at a high level in League, what that's been like for you?
I mean, I really enjoy competing. I think if like I also really hate losing, so that always kind of forces me to grind solo queue, because if I'm playing, like, at least at the beginning of the season, like our first couple of games, like we were all super rusty, like none of us have been playing at all. We all kind of took a couple month break, and when we were getting smashed, like we kind of, I would say, like even Plux, because he's in a very weird mindset with League after not being in NACL anymore and kind of being burnt out. With OQs, like we just played OQs together, try to have fun. Because solo queue is in like such a bad state, the only way we can actually enjoy the game is by playing competitive. So thank God, OQs came around and we were able to basically scrim 7 days a week. But just the grind is, I mean, it's fun. I think if I think if I'm not grinding, our team kind of suffers. I think I need to make sure, like to keep everything kind of controlled.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of chill.
You and your teammate Blonde, generational yappers online.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's so true.
Do you think that you have the best yapping team in the MEC at this point?
I think for sure. I think now that, especially that Pluto is not playing on GVU right now, they've kind of, because normally it's always us, like all of us going back and forth constantly, but now that he's not playing and he's not like the other outspoken person in the league, I definitely think me and Blonde for sure take the crown for the shit talking for sure. Yeah.
I'm happy we could talk. This was the important thing that I came into this noting. This is all you needed to know about about OU, is that just generational yappers here.
Oh, always.
Is that a skill they teach you? Like, is,
I mean, it's
is this
fun.
part of your,
It's fun.
your PR training?
It's fun to talk trash. I think, you know, that's one of my favorite things about playing like competitive, whether it's like I'm playing sports or playing League. Like, it's fun to trash talk and, you know, just be like fully like engulfed in the whole atmosphere of the competition.
100%. It's so fun to see. That's why I feel like we don't see a lot of outside, and maybe it's just not in my algorithm. I'm not sure if low key like West or North are trash talking everyone, but I feel like MVC does a good job of doing that. Prod, one last question from me. I'm curious about the impact of Levi leaving and June coming in and filling his shoes and doing just such the games we've seen. June's got hands. He's popping off and having a really solid just season and debut here in the MEC. So I'm curious what it's been like for you guys to have the new roster addition and with such a huge role in player leaving just last season.
It's honestly been really rough because Levi was definitely our he would call out our, you know, our bullshit, and that was his like job, was to like, hey guys, like, because we love to fight. Me and Plux will always look to fight. Same with Blonde, like we want to fight and just hand strike people. And Levi was always the one that would, you know, be outspoken, be like, hey guys, like I need my item spike, I need this, like stop, this is stupid. But now that we, you know, he's not here anymore and June is more of a quiet, more reserved player, he kind of just plays his game. It's been definitely a change because it's also forced me to try and calm it down a bit.
Yeah. Not this game.
Oh yeah, not this game. But the one thing I will say,
classic Prod scuttle fight has to be reined in a little.
I really wish that people were able to see us play GVU, because June in that game, in that whole series, he kind of just I don't know. Normally he's like super quiet and reserved, and he kind of like became unleashed and like started shot calling and like talking, which was, you know, very shocking for all of us. So I definitely think it's in him to like kind of fill that Levi role of also being able to speak.
Yeah.
But we're all just coming together. I think playoffs will be very fun. I think we can definitely beat GVU again, and if we can beat GVU again, then we can definitely take, you know, Purdue. Obviously their team is a lot better than last year when we beat Purdue, but I think it's possible. I mean, Ohio State is not beating anybody, but you know, all the other games will be close.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Prod. We appreciate you taking the time for the post-game interview, as always, man. Wishing you the absolute best for the rest of the week. Hope to see you again soon, my guy.
Of course, thank you.
Before we let you go, on the low, can't forget, do you have any shout-outs before we let you go?
I mean, shout out my parents, shout out my teammates, especially Riversided and June. Those guys are the GOATs. I really appreciate, you know, especially River being able to, like, willing to play top lane, because I know he, you know, does not really like the role, but my God, that guy's Gragas is so clean.
It's so good. It's so good. I was surprised it wasn't banned, like, first ban both games.
Yeah, his Gragas is really good. I think he gives Killian a run for his money for sure on the Gragas.
Very nice. Well, man, with that being said, we've got some Smash Bros here on the MEC to cover, so that's going to be it for us here on the League stream. But be sure to stay tuned, as we've got more collegiate esports action coming your way.
Dope.
Good evening, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Midwest Esports Conference. I'm Zap, joined by Zap for the moment. I'm on the solo cast right now, so it is just me for the moment, but welcome. We're going to be having Miami, Ohio versus Ashland University for this crew battle today in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Funnily enough, Miami, Ohio is confusing me, but I do believe it's Ohio and not the school of Miami, so it is going to be Ohio versus Ashland here, I believe. I wonder why it's Miami. It's weird. It's really confusing me. Looks like we're getting into the game here, though. Ashland starting off with the Min and Miami, Ohio with Steve. Now this is a Wi-Fi match. County City is a good choice. Sorry, Min taking advantage here, coming in with those aerials, making sure that Steve cannot get any mining going. That carry over would be a grab. Looking for a combo with it was good DI in the Min, but the shield poke with the up tilt and plenty of damage here. Sometimes Steve can just mash that up tilt on you and it'll hit eventually, and the shield gets small enough. Setting the wall, getting some materials. I like this game plan from Steve. Not sure about the minecart in that situation. Okay. Finding some connections back and forth. Minecart once again spacing here from Min and Maxi, keeping this Steve guessing. Ooh, the mistimed recovery from Steve, and they won't follow the blast zone. Walks up, gets a grab, but that's not going to be a skill test yet. Min still looking pretty healthy as far as first stocks are concerned. The minecart to get back to stage, but he's going to have to work a little bit harder here. Trying to get some materials. Min just making it really difficult. Those long arms just reach through the walls, and Steve puts up, making it really, really difficult to get any materials. And the thing about Min as well, they can also slow down the gameplay whenever they choose to. They don't really have to at this current moment because they have such a lead, but if they wanted to, they could just camp the slow down. Okay, air down back to stage. Multiple connections happening. No strong hit for Steve, just hit. No punish on the forward smash as well. And then getting away with a little bit of murder here, rolling right through, being very ambiguous. That strong hit, is it going to be enough? Okay, almost had the read, but just missed timing the roll a little bit. Still alive. Nope, no jump. Not able to recover that until around 109. Does have the diamond available, but hasn't had the time to craft it just yet. Maybe looking to find the kill before they craft the diamond. Ooh, okay, nice back air into the up tilt, 35%. Would like to see the Steve craft the diamond. Maybe they'll do this time. Nope. Lucky for the ledge trap. He's ignited. Will not connect, but slowly but surely, Steve bringing this back. Forward tilt, the minecart connection going all the way out there with the forward air. It's not going to kill him just yet. Let's have the jump available. Looking off the ledge, actually finding the stock with that as well. Solid work. Min up an entire stock. Ashland so far on the stock of this first match of the crew battle, and once again Min pressing their advantage, throwing every single arm in the book at this Steve. 41%. Still trying to get more materials. He has one iron in the pocket. Completely zoned, and even on Town and City, these arms take up so much space. Once again, charging that F smash. Not going to connect, but forward tilt comes through and stuck on the platform. Almost a tech chase, and the snipe through comes out from Min, and that's a 2-stock for Ashland University to start off. Looking pretty good for Ashland, and also you have to deal with the Min regardless of what character you send in next with 2 fresh stocks. So it's looking pretty difficult here for Miami, Ohio to start things off. Interested to see what character they decide to send in. Probably something that can counter the Min as best as they're able to. Although, Min, definitely a tough character to deal with, especially on Wi-Fi. It definitely is a little bit concerning here for Miami, Ohio. We'll see what kind of character they pull out, though. Production, do we have any information on the players / characters? Curious to know. It is just me on the cast for the moment. I am Zap, joined by Zap. There's 2 Zaps on the screen. Just waiting to see what kind of character they pick here. As we've established, Ashland doing an effective job in that first match, maintaining 2 stocks with the Min. Waiting for Miami, Ohio to get their counter pick going. Looks like they've decided on which player they'll be sending in next. Get that for you guys very, very soon. If these players could hurry up, man, like holy. Oh, I know you got to take the crew seriously. These players have been duking out in these crew battles for such a long time. You definitely got to take it serious. There's a reason why they're at this Midwest Esports Conference, because they are effective in what they do in these crew battles. Their counterpick strategies are just as important, so they will take as much time as they need to ban out those stages and select the proper character to deal with Ashland's choice. Alright, so it looks like they've chosen Rander. Production, do we know which character Rander plays? He did not say, but we'll find out momentarily. Rander is the player. Do you know the name of the Min player by any chance, production? That's alright. Okay. For now, I'll just keep saying Ashland. Not a big deal. We will be getting this next player in momentarily. It looks like they're ready to go. It is going to be Falco. Rander on Falco for Miami, Ohio here. And Falco versus Min. An interesting choice. We'll see which stage they elected to go with. Town and City once again. You know, I don't really like this choice for Miami, Ohio, considering we just saw how the Min played on this map. Was able to control so much space with the arms. We'll see what Rander can do here, though. Already getting 2 lasers right off the bat. That's a quick 7%. Not too shabby, but the dash attack comes through, finding 10%. Up throw into up air, into nair. That's some good damage. Tech chase on the platform as well. Great little reaction there from Rander. Snap to the ledge, 48%. Not too shabby. That's how you want to start off. You want to have a lead, especially when you're down a couple of stocks here in this crew battle. Rander doing a good job so far. The whipped grab. Double laser is punished this time around. Can't get away with it twice. That was a good grab as well. Both players playing excellently thus far in neutral. No big advantages for either player at the moment. Min though, controlling the stage once again, charging up that F smash at the ledge. Rander getting up at the right timing to avoid taking extra % on the ledge trap. The up tilt actually maybe could have confirmed it as something, but I don't think he thought it would connect. There's a down air from Min just to get at a disadvantage. Up tilt once again, but missing the back air. It wouldn't have killed, but it would have set Min into a very bad position. Okay, drag down forward air, down tilt, up air. Some more damage here for Rander. Gonna find the stock. Down air into the back air. Not going to connect. The air dodge for Min is enough to avoid that kill confirmed. Ram F smash isn't going to kill. Does damage, but doesn't really have a lot of knockback. Shooting at the ledge. Catching the jump with a forward air. Great read from Rander to find that stock off of Min. 1 stock remaining here for the Min player. A couple of F tilts, some more damage. We'll be able to return to the ledge. I like that angle from Rander to avoid the Ram F smash from Min. Great parry as well on the second F tilt. Try to catch the downward aerial there from Min with the up tilt, but it didn't quite find its mark. Okay, Firebird, but no punish. It was too far away. The down air once again connecting. Delayed recovery once again to avoid that ledge trap. Smart from Rander. F tilt's connecting once again, more and more percent. Will we be able to recover this time? Nope. We are going to lose our stock, and that is unfortunate for Miami, Ohio. They need to find this stock off of the Min to stop the bleeding here. If they do find this stock before Min can find another, they will only be down 1 stock in the crew. Min trying to make quick work of this stock, however, not letting Rander get back to stage. 65%. This is a dangerous spot to be in now. No jump available. Able to touch the stage though, so all resources return to Falco. Rapid jab given away. Only a small punish there. Oh, the down air on the jump from ledge. It didn't quite kill. The meteor was not enough. If it was a spike, it certainly would have, but not that time around. Fortunately for Rander. Getting in nair though, looking for an edge guard, jumping up with the nair, and that is enough. Surprisingly, to take care of Min. And only lost 1 stock, so Not too shabby here from Miami, Ohio. It seems like they made the correct choice in sending in the Falco versus Min Min, as Rander was able to dispatch of that Min Min with only losing one stock. Not terrible. Not the ideal outcome, certainly, but definitely not too shabby here for Miami, Ohio. They should only be down one stock in the crew now. So if Rander can actually take the first stock over the next opponent that they choose to send in, it won't be too bad. We'll see, though, because it is their counter pick now. They do have the luxury of choosing their character as well as the stage to deal with this Falco. So we'll see what Ashland cooks up here in order to deal with this Falco. Pretty neck and neck for the moment. Not too far off. Only one stock separating the two crews. Pretty hard to say who will be taking this one yet. We'll need a little bit more information. It looks like that Ashland will be sending in that one guy on Sonic as their counter pick here versus Falco. I feel like we saw this matchup last week or maybe the week before, because I know we've watched Ashland before. We've seen that one guy's Sonic, and their Sonic has actually been pretty difficult to deal with here in these crew battles from what I've seen. That one guy definitely a Sonic extraordinaire, knows the combos, knows the in and outs. He knows the vibes, so to speak. We'll see how he does here versus Randor's Falco. Sonic, notoriously difficult character to deal with on Wi-Fi. A little bit worried here for Miami, Ohio. Clearly, that one guy is comfortable in this matchup if they're sending him in to deal with Falco. So, got to be a little bit worried here for Rander at Miami, Ohio University. Coming up against the Sonic. We'll see, though. See what he can do. Getting the game momentarily. Oh, thought we were going to start. Oh, they're debating me out. Okay, here we go. Match is about to start. Sonic versus Falco, of course. See what stage they chose. Better not be Town and City. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, it's Hollow Bastion. Smart choice here. Changing it up a little bit. There's the first stock going to the wayside, of course, as is the format in the crew. And the double laser always working out for Rander. Just sending that laser every time. And you know, that laser actually going to be a pretty effective tool in combating Sonic spin dash and spin charge. We'll see how much effect that has. Rander finding some nairs, some drag down fairs. There's the back throw from Sonic. Ooh, the homing attack almost dipping into the blast zone there. Luckily, the low blast zone of Hollow Bastion is enough to keep the Sonic alive, even with the homing attack. Okay, spin dash going into the shield. Gets the rapid jab after, just to catch that shield drop from Falco. Forward air connecting, snapping the ledge, rising fair from the ledge. Aggression here, the reset with the shine into the up tilt forward air, drag down into the up air, almost killing off the top. Beautiful combo there from Falco. Absolutely disgusting. Found so much percent, 110. You know, I was talking about that one guy's Sonic, but this Falco is just absolutely annihilating in terms of the combo game on this first stock. Question is, can they find the stock? Has all the percent. The illusion not going to confirm into that up air. A couple of stray aerials here, but no kill just yet. Still alive. That one guy playing on the ledge. That's Sonic's home. And that spin charge, the forward air connecting. Single hit laser, jump out there into the edge guard with the forward air. Beautiful read. Now, equal stocks in the crew, as well as equal stocks in this match. That spring causing a little trouble for Falco off the level. Able to return to stage though. Spin charge not going to connect. Up tilt not going to connect. Being very elusive, that one guy running back and forth, utilizing their speed to take advantage of Falco's slow speed on the ground. Spring actually connecting the air dodge. Connecting on the air dodge rather. Falco once again jumping back and forth. Finally finds a little bit of damage in that laser. 6% from 2 connections. 8% now, and it's only been the laser here. Homing attack going to whiff. Homing attack actually has so much lag. It's like if you miss a big F smash on maybe say like Ganondorf or Donkey Kong or something like that. It's got a lot of lag on it when that homing attack misses. See that one guy really slowing down the gameplay now. Finally finding a bit of a combo. 2 up airs, but not too much. Drag down Nair into the down tilt. Couple of stray hits here and there, but it really is hard to combo Sonic, and I'd also say it's kind of hard to combo Falco at the percent that he's at right now. So both players are just kind of trading hits back and forth. There's the back throw from that one guy. F smash whiffing on both fronts. Both went for it. Both missed. Such is the nature of the game sometimes. Laser at point blank range. Very brave. Spin dash into up air. Not going to confirm. Man, they are holding on to these second stocks for dear life. Neither of them want to give an inch. I think it's going to be pretty difficult either way. Whoever takes this first stock. We'll see who can get it here. Holding that platform. Falco maintaining stage control. Coming in, chasing Sonic down. Air dodge twice. No punish, though. Hard to react to on Wi-Fi, that's for sure. One in the air, one off the platform. More lasers here. Oh, the homing attack after the spin charge almost connecting. The spring is there, but the tech is also there for Falco to avoid that edge guard. 150%. We are almost in back throw kill range. I think maybe they'll do it if Sonic catches Falco at the ledge. Jab, jab. Not enough. Not enough from close to center stage. Maybe at the ledge, but not that time around. It is a little bit stale now. Connection once again for Sonic, avoiding the spring. Illusion back to the stage, but the F tilt from coast to coast is going to be enough. Okay, a little bit of tech. Downer on the spring. I didn't know you could do that. There's the up throw. It can't confirm the up air that time around. And spinning back to stage is Sonic. Still alive. 116 and climbing. Oh, I like that. Down air ledge slip to cancel the lag. Very, very clean from Falco. Didn't lead to a kill, but I do like that tech skill on display here. Very smooth. 141. Not a lick of damage here onto Falco for the moment. Okay, walked up, tried to get the grab. Didn't find it, though. Smart to avoid that one from that one guy. Just the back and forth. Lasers coming out once again. There's the up smash, though. You will not be charging in the corner, sir. Hold this multi-hit. Let's connect. Once again, back to even. Only a bit of percentage separating the two for the moment. The illusion just barely not in range to connect onto Sonic. With the air dodge through that F tilt whiffing. Okay, grabs him out of the spin charge. Very brave from Falco here. Down tilt actually catching the 2-frame on the up B. Getting a bit of percentage. Drag down fair, missed grab. Tossing that shine out. Grab once again, connecting and getting the down air. Looking for a nair. Drag down after to extend the combo. Okay, illusioning past that forward smash from Sonic, and once again we just see this tit for tat gameplay. The back and forth, the trading of blows. It's whoever can find the final blow, that's the important part. That one guy able to snap the ledge, rolling right through and finding an F smash from center. Not gonna kill, but some good percentage here. Gonna have to fire Firebird back to the ledge. Down tilt connecting, not enough to kill. But the up smash actually sniping that one guy out. You should not have gone above Falco in that moment, and I was talking up that one guy before the match, but man, Falco really turned up here and actually found a 3-stock as opposed to his 2 that he possessed. So now equalizing the stocks here for both crews, if I am correct. I believe they both have well, no. It wouldn't be equalizing. It would be Miami, Ohio actually being up a stock, rather. My mistake. Yes, so that would be Ashland at 9 and Miami, Ohio at 10, because Falco did maintain a stock in that very, very clutch last match. Able to take it over that one guy's Sonic, which is an impressive feat to do, especially on Wi-Fi. We know now, we know how notorious Sonic is on Wi-Fi. Difficult to react to because of the input lag, and also just the ability to camp and be so quick. in that unreactable state. It's difficult, but Falco made it look very, very easy. Catching Sonic in what he wanted to do, catching those spin charges and spin dashes, utilizing the laser to control the stage, control the space, and keep Sonic playing Falco's game rather than playing Sonic's game, because Sonic is a character that just forces you to play his game. When you play against Sonic, you're not playing Smash, you're playing against Sonic. So the fact that Falco was able to maintain control of the stage as well as the pacing of the match really made the difference, I think, for Miami, Ohio in that last match. I do believe we'll be getting our next player here for Ashland. Next up will be Vayne, stepping up to the plate. We're going to find out what character they play. Figure out what stage we're going to, what character we're going to select here for Ashland. Before that happens, I'm going to take a swig of water. Gotta stay hydrated. Especially with all this yapping I'm doing. Okay. It is going to be the Falco Ditto here. Ashland, I'd like them to send in their very own Falco in Vayne. Now it is only going to be one stock for Miami, Ohio crew here. So Vayne only has to take the one to equalize things, and they'll both be at 9. We'll see. Let's see how this one pans out. And 24% separating the two. There's an up tilt connecting. Didn't confirm into much. The up throw into the up air. That's 2 up airs, 64% and 0% here onto Vayne. Of course, just as I said that, the laser connects, but it's only 3%. Okay, I like that shine to avoid the laser off the level. Oh, okay, you actually cannot hold the ledge that long, and the down tilt will actually stage spike that last stock for Miami, Ohio University. And wow, that was a quick one. Goodness, Vayne really was just like, all right, Falco Ditto, got that on lock. Easy peasy. That must be why they sent in Vayne that time around, because clearly they knew what was going on and what was up with that matchup. Even recognizing that they were hanging on the ledge too long. Do not want to be hanging on the ledge when that down tilt is in play. Did have the opportunity to attack, but I don't think they were ready just for that down tilt to connect at such a early percent. They didn't really have too much percent tacked on. I believe they were still sub 100 when the stock was taken away. Regardless though, effective use of Falco there for Vayne. Good matchup knowledge, recognizing that that ledge hang is a little bulky. Does find that down tilt. Able to equalize the stocks here for both crews. Now both crews maintaining 9 stocks apiece, which means they have 3 players remaining for both sides, Vayne being one of them for Ashland. And we'll have to see what Miami, Ohio elects to go with to deal with this Falco. Vayne looking a bit scary, only taking 3.7% in that last match. See what they utilize here. I think a good choice might be like a sword character. Traditionally, Spaceys and other Smash games, in this game as well, but maybe to a lesser degree, do have difficulty in dealing with disjointed hitboxes, as they are kind of stubby. They do box. The only extended hitbox that they have are those lasers that they utilize. And I guess the shine for Falco is also a disjointed hitbox because he kind of throws it. But it can be difficult for them to get in on some characters that have a lot of range or fast burst range as well. So we'll see See what choice they make here to deal with the Falco. Getting that next match momentarily. Really considering their options here, making sure they take as much time as they need to get the best counter pick possible. This is the turning point, I would say, in the crew battle, because we're basically back to square one, back to even. So whoever wins this next match is going to be looking pretty good for the crew overall. You'd like to be able to swing that stock lead in your favor. Kirby is the choice for Miami, Ohio. An interesting choice. I don't think, was Kirby not able to crouch under the laser there? Interesting. Either I'm crazy, maybe he let go of the crouch at the last second, or you can't actually crouch under the laser from Falco. I'd like to see that interaction again to prove me wrong or right. Okay, double down tilt jab block and the forward smash. Must have been some suspect DI because that killed so early. My goodness. Some Kirby cheese coming through here. Speaking of cheese, oh no, we're gonna get the down air and the air dodge given away. That's a quick 2-stock here for Miami, Ohio, with only 5% taken, and you have to imagine he's just crouching in the corner now. Oh no. Is he looking for some more of that cheese, some more of that fresh Gouda, that Parmesan? Here's an up tilt into the Nair, into the laser, some damage here. And looking to find that sock on the ledge. You need to be careful if you're Falco. You do not want to take another edge card in this situation. You want to take at least one stock off of this Kirby so your crew has some hope of winning this crew battle. But going down to a 3-stock deficit, especially against this Kirby, when we've seen how they play, not an ideal situation here for Ashland. The damage is racking up. Finding that tech chase on the platform, looking for a down smash, finding, I'm not sure what option that was. Maybe Nair for Kirby. I know it's not forward air. I know it wasn't down air because it sent it such a crazy angle off that left side. Either way, though, finding that aerial, Kirby, Klutz on Kirby, man. Wow, a 3-stock. I'm almost at a loss for words. That was ridiculously quick. The last 2 matches in this crew have just been so fast. We saw that stage spike for Vayne, and now we saw a 3-stock from Klutz on Kirby, making that matchup look really difficult, especially in the edge guarding situation. We saw Kirby go off the stage, having multiple jumps, or just sharking in the air to stop Vayne from coming back to stage, finding that down air, and then finding a second suck into edge guard situation where the down air comes out again and finds that stock. 3 whole stocks for Miami, Ohio in that last match, and now Ashland with only 6 remaining. And it looks like they'll be sending in Kiri on Pyra and Mithra. I like this choice. The only bad part about this choice, however, is the fact that Kirby can edge guard Pyra and Mithra really easily. We know that Pyra and Mithra's biggest weakness is their recovery. Their disadvantaged state off the stage is not ideal. They only have the 1 jump and the 1 up B, and the 1 up B doesn't have that much horizontal distance on either Pyra or Mithra. So, interested to see how Klutz deals with the edge guarding here. We saw that they're capable of it versus Vayne, so I'm sure we'll see it again against the Pyra and Mithra. Swordy versus Stubby. A tale as old as time. I think most matchup charts would say that Pyra and Mithra certainly win this matchup, and most people don't really have faith in Kirby, but you know what? Like I said, with the edge guarding, I firmly believe that if Kirby can set up the edge guard situation against Pyra and Mythra, they are certainly advantaged in that kind of situation because Pyra and Mythra don't have that many options. So hopefully Klutz can take advantage of that weakness from Pyra and Mythra, because if Pyra and Mythra are allowed to play neutral on stage, we already know how that's going to go, especially in that Mythra with how speedy she can be. We'll get into this match momentarily, and it looks like they're about ready to start. Once again, Klutz on the Kirby, Kiri on the Pyra and Mythra. Stage selection here is going to be Town and City. They've been loving this stage. I believe this is the third time we've seen this map. Mythra is out, but there's the down throw into the forward air. It's a grab reset. The down air once again, and almost catching the jump from Pyra Mythra with that down air. If they found that connection in the edge guard, that would have been a quick 0 to death for Klutz. But luckily for Ashland and their crew, Kiri was able to avoid that initial edge guard, finding some percentage here. The nair, the up air, back air out of shield, up tilt. Not many strong connections for the moment. The dash tech lingering just long enough to connect on the jump. The side B given away, that's a big punish. Only takes an F tilt though. The back air as well. Oh, and the platform actually stuffing out the down B from Kirby. I think that might have actually connected on the side B, but there we go. Nice little confirm into the down smash for Klutz. And this is just a Kirby extraordinaire, knowing all the ins and outs. Oh my goodness, down throw into forward air into neutral B. That was definitely a cheesy situation for Klutz, trying to secure that early stock. And you see the planking on the ledge. You already know the game plan here from Klutz to find that edge guard situation. Double down tilt, gets the up tilt as well into the back air. And you know, people say that Kirby don't got stuff, but Klutz is making it look really excellent. Spot dodging that gentleman jab. Back air off the spot dodge, great patience. The down B, no stage spike, unfortunately, for Kiri in that situation. Klutz surviving yet another day. Jab into grab, just baiting out that shield pressure and then grabbing you once you think you're able to avoid that A button. Back air, sending coast to coast, still alive. Nair not connecting that time around. There's a grab though. Up throw off the top. Not quite. Not on Town and City with those high ceilings. Parrying, but wow, that F tilt is just so safe. Man, Kirby looks really good right now. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's the Wi-Fi buff talking, but this Kirby looks really difficult to deal with. You will not be able to survive the up throw that time around. Not with the help of the platform. And are we gonna see another 3 stock here from Klutz? Double up tilt into the up air. We're looking kind of like Steve, looking kind of like Falco with these early percent combos. Able to return to stage with that air dodge. Klutz once again coming through with the double up air after the up tilt. Trying to find a forward smash, trying to end it all. The up tilt connects for Kiri, however. No edge guard to be had. There's the blazing end to do some damage. No kill here. Pyra is out, looking for a stray hit, trying to dispatch of this Kirby. And there we go. Finally, the side B connection is enough. And wow, Klutz actually took 5 whole stocks with only losing 1. That is just ridiculous. They might be able to close out this entire crew just on their own, but we'll see what Kiri has to say about it. 97% and climbing, still on this Pyra for the moment, getting a stray hit with the fair. I don't think they want to play Mythra right now because they don't want to get an F smash with the lightness of Mythra and just absolutely get their stock blown up. Soon though, it's not going to matter. That percentage is climbing here. Klutz doing an excellent job of keeping this Pyra Mythra out. Blazing in is going to connect, but is it too little too late here for Kiri to make some adaptation? The back air connection, the edge guard situation, throwing out a forward air, throwing out a down air, and we are able to snap the ledge just barely. Kiri still alive for the moment, but the up throw on the top platform is going to do it for Klutz, and they will take another 3 stock match for themselves while only losing 1 stock. They've taken 6 stocks while only losing 1 stock of their own. Absolutely clutch here for Klutz, excuse me. A clutch game for Klutz. Yes, that's a bit of a tongue twister. But yes, they now have really solidified their lead here for Miami, Ohio. 8 whole stocks, 3 whole players here for their crew, while Ashland only has 1 player left, 1 character remaining to utilize here, and they still have to get through the 2 stocks in Klutz's Kirby. Man, that is a tough spot to be in Kirby. Wow, I was talking about the matchup a little bit, about how Pyro and Mithra would be a good choice, sent in versus the Stubby character with that is Kirby, because, you know, it's classic Swordy versus Stubby character archetype. Able to swat that character away. They kind of want to come in and box. Sword character says, nah, you're not coming in here, I'm just gonna poke you with my sword. But Klutz just kept finding ways in and kept finding favorable situations for themselves, so much so that, dare I say, that matchup looked pretty dang even on Wi-Fi. Perhaps it is the Wi-Fi buff speaking, like I mentioned before, but either way, they're going to be sending in Neapolitan as the anchor on Zelda. Zelda versus Kirby. Now, that's a matchup you don't see every day. I can't even think of the last time I saw Zelda versus Kirby. Maybe when the game first came out and I was playing casual games with my friends and whatnot, but this is not 2 characters that you don't see very often in the competitive scene, that is for sure. We'll see if they can make it work here. Neapolitan coming in as the last bastion for Ashland University. On Zelda, of all characters. Interesting, very interesting. Another swig of water here. The solo cast makes you yap, chat, I'll tell you what. It's just me, myself, and I. And of course the 2 players here, Klutz and Neapolitan. Zelda versus Kirby on small battlefield. And this could be the last match of the crew, if Klutz has anything to say about it. We'll see. See if they can take 9 whole stocks with their 3. Double fair. 23%. Neapolitan able to jump from ledge. The parry on the dash attack. The forward air actually clanking with the up tilt. No combos to be had. The down tilt not going to confirm into that dash attack. Both players looking for their openings. Klutz does find one in that up tilt. A 2-hit combo. Not too much damage, but hey, we'll take that percent lead for the moment. Baiting out the up tilt, finding that back air. Good movement here from Klutz. Once again, controlling the stage, controlling the space, and throwing out these hitboxes when they believe Neapolitan will be swinging. Narrowly avoiding that up tilt. The F smash connecting here onto Klutz. No up air to be had, but actually frame traps them, landing the up smash after the up air and actually setting up that jab into the knight. I love that setup here from Neapolitan. Jab into knight, killing. Oh, but the mistimed F smash the wrong way after the teleport. No punish to be had, but still plenty of percent here and a favorable position as well. There's the ledge trump into back air. And even if he's down to his last stock, Klutz still able to take one over Neapolitan here. Regardless of what happens in the next couple of minutes, Klutz has certainly done their job and then some. There's a bit of an elevator combo going up with that teleport. Have to snap the ledge. Klutz back to stage. Neutral B connecting. A little bit more percent. Avoiding all these projectiles. Great shield work from Klutz. The neutral B, get off of me, says Neapolitan. Throwing out that knight. Looking for a down tilt on the ledge stripe. Knight once again and catching him slipping. It's like, oh, you want to jump over my knight? Here's an up smash if you land on top of me. Great control of the stage there from Neapolitan on Zelda. Recognizing where Kirby wanted to go and exactly when he wanted to go there. Finding that up smash. But regardless, you still did lose 1 stock. And if you think about it, Miami, Ohio's crew has an entire 6 to work with. So they will have to use bare minimum 1 stock per player that they face. So they'll have to fight this next player and either not lose a stock or not lose both stocks. And then if they somehow manage to beat the next player that Miami, Ohio sends in, they have to beat another player with perhaps only one stock, which is already a tall ask. But hey, I've seen crazier things in crew battles before. We'll see. It looks like Miami, Ohio is going to be sending in Palpa on Villager. Whew. That's an interesting choice here, especially against Zelda. I know they'll be able to pocket the explosion, but can they pocket or reflect the knight? That is the question. My initial thought is no, they definitely can't pocket the knight. I think that would be a little bit ridiculous if you just invalidated that entire move. That isn't even a projectile. But we'll see. See what Palpa knows about this matchup, what they know about the interactions that Zelda and Villager have. Another very uncommon character in that Villager.
3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, PS2. Choice here for Palpa. Taunts come through and we're getting right into it. This could be Ashland's last match of the night, depending on what you see. And regardless, they still have to go through 2 more characters, one of them being Palpa's Villager. Putting an up tilt into the neutral air, getting some damage here. Angling the shield upwards just to make sure that Lloyd Rocket doesn't poke. Back air connection, the tree has been grown. Both players are creating matter before our very eyes. Okay, able to teleport past the bowling ball. That's a good way to get past it. Lloyd Rocket explosion. Knight not connecting onto Villager. So far, Palpa with the percent lead, but that ladder with the up B into the side B after the fact to get that explosion connection. There's the berry though into the up smash. It's a stock for stock trade. Not an ideal situation here for Neapolitan, as they only have 1 stock remaining. That's the only stock they can afford to lose. From now on in this crew, they cannot lose another stock or it's curtains for the crew battle. Neutral B connecting to the tech chase, finding a down tilt, but it's not going to true confirm into anything. Teleporting in place, trying to catch Palpa slipping here. Lloyd Rocket, bowling ball, slingshot. How many projectiles does it take to screw in a light bulb, chat? We'll see. Jab 1 into F smash. Oh, into the knight, and that is an early stock. That is exactly what you needed if you are Neapolitan. Great early stock, 59% after the hit as well. That is a very, very early kill here, even on PS2. Neapolitan still has some fight left in them, but that was the pocketed knight, able to reflect it back, and my goodness, the Villager will destroy that Zelda with their own move and will clutch up the crew battle rather, for Miami, Ohio versus Ashland. That will be Miami, Ohio taking it. And unfortunately, as well as Neapolitan played in those last moments, in those last bit of matches, man, clutch situation there for Palpa. Able to close that one out with 4 whole stocks remaining for Miami. So even if they didn't win that one, they were able to take it pretty handily, and they did have an extra character in the back pocket. But either way, we're going to send it to a quick break for the moment, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have an interview with one of the players from Miami, Ohio. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, I may have lied. It seems we will not be having an interview for today. As soon as they finished the crew battle, Miami, Ohio was like, all right, see ya. We're done. We're dipping out. So we're not going to have an interview. But before we say goodnight, I want to do a quick little shout out for our sponsor of the stream, Alex's Lemonade Stand, which was a foundation that emerged from the front yard lemonade stand of a 4-year-old Alexandra Alex Scott, who was fighting cancer and wanted to raise money to find cures for all children with cancer. By the time Alex passed away at the age of 8, she had raised over $1 million. Very impressive. Since then, the foundation bearing her name has evolved into a worldwide fundraising movement and the largest independent childhood cancer charity in the U.S. ALSF is a leader in funding pediatric research projects across the globe, providing programs to families affected by childhood cancer. For more information, please visit alexslemonade.org. That's ALXSlemonade.org. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to our sponsor, Alex's Lemonade. And for now, we'll have to catch y'all later. Make sure you tune in next week for more Smash Ultimate action. This has been Zap and Zap on the solo cast. Thank you guys. Thank you, production. Have a good night.
Alex's Lemonade Stand was founded by my daughter Alex in our front yard when she was 4 years old. She decided she would have a lemonade stand, but instead of keeping the money, she would give it to her doctors so they could help kids like her. And she was able to reach her $1 million goal. She passed away 2 weeks later. She was 8.5. you.